Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to Dungeons and Dragons. I believe it's episode 3, or was it episode 4? So, okay, episode 4. Yeah, who's counting? So many seasons, so many episodes. So right now we are going to be starting our episode, continuing with old and existing players. But the existing players have also created their new characters at the same time. And we got two new players that is joining us for the session, Meri and Stx. And also Elirina, controlled by Zaft. And also we have the new character created by Kaede. Kaede, you may need to change your name from Cornelius Spear
Oh
to
yeah, I forgot about that. Be right back. I
Spear.
forgot about that. Be right
Okay,
back.
so I want to let you introduce your character in brief. Okay, a short introduction of your character to the audiences. All right.
Oh, come
Okay.
on.
Okay, gonna be starting with all right. Malenia Spear. You introduce your character. What's your character all about? Races and so on, classes and stuff. What's your background story? What's your goal?
Hello, my name is Kaede. I controlled my character by the name of Malenia Spear. Hinge, hinge, nudge, nudge. Uh, she is literally the splitting image of my old character, Cornelius Spear, because I want to retire him and make a new character, which, yeah, technically is the same. She is the daughter of my old character, Cornelius Spear, and yeah, the background story, not much. Just basically a crown princess of the kingdom. Yeah, no surprise. And yeah, currently I'm a literally a literal good friend of my nanny, also known as my best friend, Elirina Hanzhran. So it's like, yeah, if you want to know
Okay,
more about it, just
continue
watch
the
the
story.
video.
Watch the
Yep,
video.
watch the videos
Yeah.
and continue the story because I'm not gonna make spoilers. Also because I have no idea, and also because I have no idea how the story is gonna go. So it's like, yeah, my character might may or may not survive the first episode. You never know, you know.
Yes, yes, might never survive, or probably turn from good to evil or evil to good. So yeah, we all know how it goes. This game have huge repercussion on player characters' actions. Okay,
Which
now
is good.
Elirana, run. Okay, introduce yourself, please.
Okay, hello. My name is Zaft. I created Elirina because I wanted to try something new. Plus, there's a running joke in the group. You might find it out uh in future episodes. Short version, and skin elf, very close to Malenia, and that's what I'm willing to tell because I need time to build her backstory. But for now, enjoy the show.
Okay, all right. Okay, next would be Mary. Introduce your
Right.
character, please.
Hello. I am playing Heron, and he is a elven bard, and he has rather short blonde hair, and he is just a traveling entertainer who often goes to battlefields and recites them and tells stories, and often exaggerates them for sake of a good tale. He mainly uses weapons, not your stereotypical bard. He is generally on the front lines with his friends, and he is a very, let's say, clothed out individual with many bits and trinkets on him. And just generally, he's a traveling bard and he's looking for a group of adventurers to join. That's really just him.
Right.
I hope you. I
Yes.
hope your bard is inspired by Yaskir slash Dandelion from The Witcher. Toss a coin, you to your Witcher.
Yeah, a bit of it.
Oh god, it's gonna be good.
Okay, next and lastly is Six.
Hello,
Controlling
I'm Stix. I'm playing Karan. She is a Kalishtar. She is very good at survival skills. She's currently on the run after stealing an artifact, and she is longing for home, which is a small estate, a poor estate, used to the drought. And she is currently trying to find some way to offload this particular artifact.
right.
Hope she doesn't
Okay,
want to
thank
see
you.
the manager.
That's Karen, not Karan. Okay.
Aditya!
All right. Okay. For Karan and Heron, or Heran. Okay. For two of your characters, they've already met. They've already traveled together from your old village of Goblin, Karan. And throughout that long journey itself, you actually went to the lands of Agame, heading towards Shizi Restum, where you actually heard that there's going to be a meeting of some sort between the lords and the king of the land. You heard that Cornelius Spear himself is going to be there at Shizi Restum. You traveled far, Karan and Heron, from Gofrime, followed the roads, passing the Canaan lakes, and through the mountains, and said your hellos to the Ganuk and the Anuk tribes of the goblins, which are not bloodthirsty as you think they were. They're mostly just neutral tribes of goblins that actually protects the mountain against any dangers from the eastern side and the western side. But you cross the caves itself and head towards the other end. That is where, after weeks of travel, you pass the ancient ruins or the destroyed ruins of Shizi's War, where you heard stories that the blue dragon Abazigal laid waste to the many citizens and its magnificent buildings and burned it down. But as you traveled again towards Caesar Restum, you approached the gates. The guards saw you from the top of its gate towers, looked down upon and then looked to the both of you. You did not say a word as you enter. The guards seem to notice that you are mostly just unarmed or just lightly armed. So they let you in, and the gates opened. As you walk in, you can feel that the crowd itself was quite charming. They mostly greeted you. A lady, perhaps, on your right said hello as you entered the metal gates. But, for Harun and Karen, your main task here is actually to seek out perhaps Cornelius Steele, Lindsay, Durtan, and even Lord Valens himself. As you enter the gates from the eastern side, you see that the marketplace itself is bristling with life. You see a number of people, children walking to the side. You see a little girl run towards you at first, offering you perhaps some sort of simple food or apple. For a simple penny, perhaps. 1 copper, she asks you. Then she looked to you, Helen, as she ran towards the moon. The mother actually just looked and smiled and then turned to both of you. And then she just said, could you spare for my young child? Then she just asked the lady, she just asked you nicely. Then you look to the young girl, you look to her, and Helen, and Helen.
Heron is just going to toss them a just gold coin from his pouch.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna lower the volume for this one. Okay, you took a gold coin from your pouch.
Yep. I just hand it over
The
to
young girl along with a short hair at first. Then, just listen. Then after that, she took it. She didn't say a word. Then she just ran off with her mother. Then after that, a young boy actually just came to you and said, "Thank you for that. Thank you. The young boy actually speaks to you, grabbing you by your loot, perhaps by your trousers itself. Then he bowed his head and looked to you, and to you, Karan. But as both of you actually entered, unsure way to go, the young boy then just actually looked to you, Karan, and then he asked, "You don't look like you don't look like you're from here." The young boy actually asked, "Are you looking for someone? Are you looking for some place to stay?" The young boy asked you at first, but judging by the way he expressed himself, the way that he smiled, perhaps this is just a quick way of him to get at least a silver piece, just for his troubles, just to actually send you to the nearest tavern, towards the nearest inn. So, Karan, what do you want to do?
I'll reach into my pouch and I'll be like, I don't have very much, I'm afraid. But you're right, I do come from somewhere far away. Can you show me where to stay? And I'll hand him a gold coin.
The moment you hand him a gold coin, his eyes brightened. A gold coin? Oh, that's so generous of you. And then he looks around to his left, to his right, and then slowly put that gold coin into his small little pouch and tied it tightly, as if tying it with dear life. Then he said, My name's Namia," he said.
Well, nice to meet you.
Yes, Nanya, and very nice. How old are you?
Then he was like thinking how old. Then he took out his fingers and counted 1, 2, and then after he counted to 5, then he counted to 6, all the way until his last finger, or 10, and then he tried to count again with his toes. 11, 12, and then after he said, "I'm 12, I think. 12 years I've been staying here."
Oh,
Well, you're doing very well for a 12-year-old.
I try my best to help my young sister and my mother. And besides, there are many travelers such as yourself towards the city of Xanathar. But unfortunately, not all of us are fortunate enough to actually make ends meet by day to day. And we try to get as many people to actually come and buy our stuff. But we are just simple farmers. And the land is still darkened by the plague towards the east, towards Val. There's nothing much. Even Lord Varys himself is trying to look into it right now. He's here. Thank the gods that he's here. And have you heard? The boy said. Have you heard that the king of Cornelia, Lord Cornelius himself, is going to be here, and his daughter too. I heard such stories about Malenia, the beauty that she actually harbors in everything.
oh.
Then you heard about Lord Cornelius, King Cornelius. Both you can roll for history. Okay, 15. Okay, good. All right, Heron.
Yep.
History should be good. So you're a bard. Shouldn't fail.
I do not have proficiency in it.
He,
So.
he doesn't
I
fail.
took
He
1
nails
than
it.
20
He
of
doesn't
them.
fail. He nails it.
Roll next 20. Yes.
Less than 20 of the day, boys.
It doesn't have the patience for it. Wow, I wonder if he has the patience for it then.
Do the scene, DM! Do the scene!
Right. Okay, Karen. You heard stories about King Cornelia. It's like you heard about his exploits, his crusade in actually making sure that the surrounding village throughout his own kingdom was united under one banner. At first, during that last 30 years ago, I heard the stories. Cornelius united the barbarians, united the warriors, the fighters that was actually going against each other, neck to neck, killing nearby villages. But Cornelius made sure that all the villages around the kingdom itself was being led by him under that one banner, and now everybody within that land, within that timeline, within that year, was united. However, that is the story that you heard about King Cornelius. He was a hero. He was a hero that defeated the dragon. He was the hero that used the sword to stab the dragon at his heart. And its tyranny. During the tyranny of the dragon itself was actually defeated by the work of Cornelius and also her companions. But sadly, Heron, other than what you know, what I mentioned earlier on, sadly, King Cornelius lost his most beloved, and then King Cornelius only had one child. His wife was buried nicely in a diamond throne, preserved eternally. It's not that she died, it's just that due to some unfortunate events, due to these rumors that you heard that the dark sword that she held could be one of the main culprits of what actually befell actually King Cornelius, and all the agony and all the treachery and all the tyranny that actually happened to him was actually perhaps by this sword alone. But those are just rumors. But all you know is the queen is still basically alive, but not alive. But is she undead? She is not. She's just buried. But the princess grew up, become a beautiful woman. But King Cornelius could not spend as much time as he would with her due to being so busy governing the lands of Cornelia itself. But for the king to be here, to have a meeting with Lord Drutan, Lord Varys, and Lord Rinzé, it have to be something really serious indeed. But Heron and Karan, that is the reason why you are here. To meet up with King Cornelius, if you can actually get an audience with him, if possible. But Nembia looks to both of you and said, well, if you would like to, please follow me. The young boy actually urged both of you to actually follow him.
Lead on.
Lead the way.
Nembia actually stand in one corner and said, this is the blacksmith. You see the bald-headed man sitting on his anvil looking at both of you, and he just waves at Nembia. And then he looks at both of you and said, if you feel like having your weapons made, sharpened, or if you found any of the mineral spears, or any magical spears, I guess, then you can bring them to me. I can forge them into a greater weapon. Perhaps, of course, for a fee. And then Nambia looks to the bald-headed man sitting on his anvil and then points to both to you, Karen Haran, and said, he is a good man. The young boy speaks out. He did say if you actually find any magical spears or, those weird globy thingy, like he noticed and then we are trying to make some sort of circular motion, is some of the people here on the lands, we call them materias, but the old man here called it some sort of a dragon spear, but some young kid called them dragon balls. But it sounds so, calling them dragon's balls? They sound strong. We gotta call them spears. Nabia says he speaks out.
At least they call them balls, not testicles.
Yeah, you heard one young girl who speaks out. You're calling them balls, not testicles. And Nabia looks at the girl. You shut up, you Kaede.
You shut up!
Then Then we actually looks to you, Karen Arden. Well, if you do have the cash, I mean the money, of course, yeah, you can actually head over to this man over here. He can slot those things into your weapon, perhaps giving them different types of. I'm not too sure. The old man told me that he gives you special magical abilities to go against some of the creatures or the monsters of the land. Some of them are quite immune to certain spells, but some of them quite weak against certain spells. Come, follow me. The boy speaks out.
Just nod at the blacksmiths I passed.
Harold just do a little wave and just kind of back up. It's like, oh, okay.
Then the young boy speaks out. This cross junction over here in this building. It's an old chapel, but yes, that one is being managed by one of our resident cleric. He's actually Lord Duratan's son, Uzu. He manages the chapel, but I forgot what our god that we're worshipping here. But then again, any monasteries or any chapel or cathedral can worship any god, as long as you have the money to pay for it. Then he points out, here to my right, well, nowadays you're probably going to be finding most of the horses and many of the halflings living at that side of the corner. But here you can see many of the tabaxis and leonins, of course. And then after that, he points out and waves at one of the tabaxi, like managing his wares, and said, and you notice that the tabaxi with his long leopard-like tail with his spots around his furs and short ear. And then he waves at both of you. Hello, hello. Here to buy my wares? If you got the coins, I got the stuff. Of course. These are just mundane magical items. The tabaxi speaks out. I'm pointing at some of the stuff. Small trinkets, actually. Earrings, rings, mirrors. Even small little scrolls with, again, magical waxes, actually, that I could put on it. To make sure the scrolls are actually lit and actually unsealed. And then after that, you notice that the tabaxi speaks out. If you do have the cash, of course, you can buy it from me. These are mostly just stuff that I found throughout my travels. Other adventurers actually sell their stuff to me. If you do have anything that you want to let go or trade, for the same equivalent cost, of course, you can always come to me. But we don't get many adventurers here that actually went into the dungeons. It's a dangerous place, of course. I used to be an adventurer like yourselves, the tabaxi said. But
Until I turn into a meow meow.
Wait, did he take an
Look
arrow
at
to
this
the
meow
knee?
meow!
Did he take an
Look
arrow?
at it!
Wait, did he take an arrow to the knee? I used to be an adventurer once.
No. He didn't say that. He just told Karan Heron. I used to be an adventurer like yourself until I met my wife, of course. Then I got married in a hitch. Then I stopped adventuring. The lives. I forgot what level I was. Yes, I was an adventurer. And then Biala said, I don't remember you being an adventurer. I thought you were a peddler. And you notice the tabaxi, hush, Biala.
Can I
Shit
roll
to
an
make
insight
bird
on that?
noises. I wish to make bird noises.
Then
Idiot!
Biala looked at you, Karan. And then after that, they said, well, if you got anything that you actually want to trade, you can trade with him. But there are many other shops just like him. I mean, this city is huge. But let us go off. There are many more places I want to show you.
Thank you, good sir. If I find anything, I'll let you know.
The tabaxi bowed. Yes, he speaks out. Okay, Karan, you follow Nambia, and then Heron, you're looking around the cross junction. The marketplace seems to be a good place to actually buy some stuff. There's a lot of things here that a young boy did not actually mention. Like what sort of places for you to actually get magical weapons, where to get magical armors, where to actually how to get many other magical trinkets.
As he's just all looking around, I was like, I'll make sure to come back here a bit later. And he just makes his way back, catching up to Karen.
Okay. As you catch up to Karen, while Nambia actually just walking around, he brings you all over the city of Shizirath, introducing you to many other shops other than here. He brings you to other places, which will take quite some time. But now, let me go to the other group of people that's actually waiting. Okay. Where is okay? Meanwhile, right in the war-torn village of Bawa, further towards the northeast. Adiane Celestine and Sierra Thorn.
Oh.
This is just going to be a temporary scene, okay?
Hmm?
Not gonna be permanent. Right. You see the captain of the guard walk over to you, Danny. Okay, who's the mute one? Who's the one that's deaf and mute? I forgot.
This one is the mute one, but she's not deaf. She can hear, but tragedy and all, she can't speak. This is the mute.
Right.
Otherwise, the other one she is practically normal. Just change, and yeah, you're good.
Right. The captain of the guard walked over to you. And after he speaks out, this war has been taking its toll on us. And it seems that with the princess now gone, heading over towards Cheesy Ref, there's really nothing much to actually do. What with here to actually defend this outpost against Oda Nobunaga's army. Our troops has been positioned nicely further towards the north, but our ships is not prepared for another ongoing attack. And now with the report that Python is gone, she have not returned back and tell us what she have found. But I'm too worried. I am the guards. You notice that the captain himself, he's out of words. He took out his metal helm and after that just put it to his side, trying to actually find the composure that he need. He hold the hilt of his weapon tightly, and he said, "I want you to take the fastest ship that you can have, Ariane and Sierra. But I can spare what troops I have, perhaps maybe 20 to 30. But it is a risk I have to take for you to take many of my troops to head towards Caesareth and to report back to Lord Varys and also to King Cornelius of what's happening here. If Lord Oda Nobunaga is to attack, we will be less. Our troops will be less. We'll be having less people to actually proceed with the number of attacks that we actually need to do. But, Adreni, Malenia entrusted you to actually look into the outpost with whatever man that we have. It is your choice. You can choose to actually bring the troops, or you can choose to let them stay here and defend this outpost. Choose now. You see a wheel appear right in front of you. Yes.
Yes,
No.
yes. She's like thinking. Then, in a polite voice, she approaches first the commander, puts her hand on his shoulder, and say, "Commander, if I were to bring troops with me, that'll weaken this outpost and make the transportation of us and the troops a lot easier. Sierra and I are two people. Two people are much faster when it comes to transportation. Plus, we'll be two girls traveling by themselves, so no one would arouse suspicious if we were to be passengers on board a merchant ship. But a 20-man group led by two women, I might as well just hand us over to the Oda. Let the men stay here and defend. Position yourselves as much as you could, and if you think you're surrounded, try to break free and run to the forest. Use the hit and run tactics and guerrilla warfare against the Oda. A straight battle will lead you to a slaughterhouse. Sierra and I will return back to King Cornelius and inform the council of what have been transpiring here and ask for more aid."
The commander looks to you. Malenia and Elirina was actually correct to actually ask you to stay here to look into the armies and to look into the garrison and to look to the protection of this land. But I wish you two good luck and Godspeed. I hope that you can actually succeed and head towards the ref. We need the approval of Lord Duratan and Rinze in order to proceed. And I hope that Cornelius is able to actually persuade Varus and the others. Because if not, Bawa is lost. And Oda will have succeeded even further in obtaining the spirit of the dragon itself. We're not too sure who it is that he actually wants to get, but we have already had more than enough troubles with the cult of the dragons. But so far, they've gone. But I have sent certain scouts ahead to look for Pythion, and hopefully we're able to actually find her and not her remains. That is what I hope for. But we have prepared the fastest ship for you, Rene, for you and Sierra to actually go to. Sierra is really good in terms of what she does. She may look frail from what I see, but I believe that she can actually put the sails to good use.
Who? Frail? Sierra? I've known that girl all my life. She's anything but frail. She may look frail, but yeah, she anything but frail. We'll manage on our own, Commander. You and the troops, you stay here, you dig in, and pray that nothing happened to us.
Okay. Commander bows his head, and then Sierra looks to you quietly. And then when you look at Sierra, you look towards the river, and then you look towards the ship. The fastest ship you can actually prepare, fastest ship you can actually get ready for. But roll for nature, roll for insight.
Okay.
You can use other characters to roll for it.
Okay, first is insight on this character. Nope. And
Diana,
nature
okay. That's Sierra.
Okay. Let me just get her character. Of all the things in the world, I never invest in insight every single time. Nature, you say? Okay, nature here is good. The nature is from Sierra's character.
Right. Sierra actually looks. She didn't say much, but you look at her, you actually understand what she's actually trying to tell you. And seems that Sierra's telling you that it might take you about 2 weeks, roughly, with the ship and on foot heading towards the restaurant. If you're fast and out of sight, you should be able to arrive maybe about 3 weeks at least. If there is actually some sort of combat or some sort of battle that you actually have to go through along the way, if the cult actually stops you during then it will take longer. But you and Sierra actually head straight towards the river itself, prepare the ship, and after that set sail as fast as you can. The sloop we were using, the same one that was actually used against Abazigal, the Blue Dragon, a long time ago. But you quickly actually took the boat and head off, Adrena and Sierra. But meanwhile, at the shrine of Abazigal, Meliana and Elirina, you arrive at Abazigal's prison tomb. You can see the skull been put on the doorway that blocks the entrance doors inside. Meliana, your father was the one that actually struck the dragon and felled it. But you heard stories from your father when he was telling you that he was there, he met the Dampier, the vampire known as Tirsen. There was nothing much that Tirsen could do. There was nothing much that Cornelius could do even after that. Even though Cornelius knew what was actually happening. Perhaps he knew that Tirsen was the one being possessed by the Blue Dragon. Or perhaps during that time, during that 30 years of thinking, of sitting on his throne, when you were born, when your mother passed, you think to yourself, all this while, Malenia, was father right? Or was your father wrong? Was Tirsen actually really possessed by the dragon? Or was he being used by the cult of the dragon? But that was not the answer you probably seek. However, this was the first stop that you stopped the moment you actually landed at the shores of Agami. Elirina actually thinks that she just need to be there to actually protect you. But at this tomb itself, you try to actually enter. But you know for a fact that there is only one key and only one key alone that could actually let you enter inside. In order for you to actually get the answer that you need, the answer that you seek from the vampire or the vampire Tirson, only then you can actually talk to him. But in order to get the blade, it is held tight by Rinzai. However, Rinzai is going to be holding a ceremony very soon in passing that sword to the one that he trusts. They will carry the dragon sword by his or her side. At this moment, it could be either Rinker or Amara. You're unsure. But you have not seen Amara and Rinker for a very long time. They're two of your good friends. And also Durotan's children, also your friends. You have not seen them for quite some time. But you are here to actually catch up with Lord Varus, Lord Rinzai, and Lord Durotan. You know your father is on the way, but you arrive first. Now, with Elirina next to you, Elirina knows for a fact that you want to actually speak to the Tirson Dampier. But you need the blade. Okay, Miliana, Elirina. Okay, Miliana, you first. You can roleplay, then Elirina.
Say, Ili, do you think that if I plead a bit more, do you think father would actually, let me enter this tomb? I thought so. After all those stories that I heard from my father, yet something doesn't seem right. It always bugs me that why couldn't they just allow the Dampier to live? Why do they have to kill him? Do you really think that the Dampiers were the fault of all the catastrophe that happened 30 years ago?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know, but something tells me all these stories, the history, whatever you want to call it, nothing sits right with me. Yet I couldn't pinpoint the truth. I'm here, it was so close, yet so far. I'm not sure how am I gonna do it. The only key that was available to open this door, the answer beyond here, is held by Rinzai and my father. Yet none of them would allow me to step even closer. I think this is the closest I could do before my father went on a rampage again for having me standing right in front of this tomb. It's like I sigh in deep breath. You know what? Let's just head back. I'll try to think of something, but honestly, something just doesn't seem right with me.
Malenia, Irina pinches your cheeks softly.
Uh, I, uh, Ellie, I know you have been taking care of me since birth, but I'm not a child right now. I'm 18.
Aww. You're always a little girl that always seems to be lost.
Yes, I am. I am very lost, to be fair. Despite all the privileged life that I'm been through, nothing still sits right with me. I needed more than just the gold jewelry and platinum on my arms. I need answers. I need answers from my mother. Ever since my mother's death, father never spoke of her, and it just has been like this since forever. I kept trying to press for answers, yet father always brushed me off saying that it's not the time, it's not the time. If now is not the time, when is the time? I should be old enough to know all of this. Yet father still keeps secrets. He only spoke to his friends, Uncle Varus and Lord Durotan and Rinzai. All of them, they are what? They have just been his blood, but I am his blood and flesh. Yet he couldn't even told me a single thing, especially about mother. I don't know, man. I feel like I feel like despite being the blood related to my father, I feel like I'm more distant compared to Lord Uncle Varus, Durotan, and even Rinzai. I feel like I'm just a nobody in this family.
Actually, I like your mother. Ever so curious. Well, tell me. And if you have the chance, you remember that dance I teach you under the moonlight? It always calms me down.
Yes. Anyway, we should head back before father finds out I'm here again. He will not be pleased.
I won't tell. Trust me. I won't tell.
Yes, I know you, Ellie. You have been by my side since as long as I could remember, and I trust you with all my life. Anyway,
Oh, hug.
it's like Ellie. You know what? I think I needed that hug. Thank you very much, Ellie. Now let's head us back before Father came.
Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Okay.
And I'm trying to speak very softly because I'm in CC. I don't want to make it. I don't want to make it sound very cringe.
That sounds very princessy. So when you do actually get back your PC and so on, continue. So as I know, Zaft is trying to use his Morvok. I mean, even there, so his voice still sounds very, very elvish, girlish. But anyway, both of you, after having the conversation, turn and head back towards Ref, where you two are going to actually meet up with the other lords, and then hopefully see your father again after so long, after so many years, Ileana. When your father actually thought that you could be the one that actually lead the army to actually defend Bawa against Lord Oda, but there are still trying matters that you need to actually solve. But only Lord Varus can actually tell you about that. But actually two rode off towards Shiziref. It will take an hour or two to arrive. But meanwhile, at Shiziref, Heran and Karan, you see Nambia bringing you around, telling you the stories and stuff. And then you, near the northeastern part of the city walls itself, the part of the city, Nambia actually points out, this, to my right, is Esmeralda's School of Magic. He walks over towards the door, bangs it really hard. Tum tum tum. Esmeralda! Tum tum tum. Esmeralda, lay down your hair! Boom boom boom.
The fuck? The fuck?
Bruh.
Glance over at Heron.
It's like,
And you see Nabia turns over to you too and said, well, sadly she's not in. I think she must be traveling somewhere. I heard her telling me the other day. I mean, she's our mistress. She teaches children like myself to see if we can adapt to any elemental magic. And she brings on she brings around all the children around the land. And she travels around the land to seek out potential children with the blood of the dragon within them. Humans, not only dragonborns, but human, elf, half-elf, dwarf, halflings, everybody, to see if they actually harbor the blood of the dragon, to see if they actually have some innate ability. But I remember she told me that she was heading to a place called. You notice that Nambi suddenly started to scratch his head. I think she said something about a spell jamming or something, or a spell jammer, or I'm not too sure. But
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
but it's just probably one of her own adventures or something. But she's not here. If she was here, she would be really happy to see the both of you, because I do feel as if that both of you do have some sort of innate abilities. It's just a hunch. Well, don't mind me.
I have something people call magic. And he just sort of like he's just gonna use one of his spell slots and just do cure wounds just to make his hands glow.
Mm-hmm.
Radiant
Right.
energy. It's like when you study on the battlefield for quite a long time, you get a knack for it. And he just clicks his fingers and it disappears.
Oh, you see the boy like his eyes brighten. Wow, that was really good.
I
Then
have some abilities, but they're not very reliable. I try to use them sometimes, and sometimes I can make them happen, but they don't always do what I want them to do. And I'll try and cast Prestidigitation, but instead of making the air smell like flowers, it smells instead like a dead fish.
Okay. And you see them, yeah, it's like, it's not really good, but oh, well, if only Esmeralda was here, she'll be really happy to see this.
Do you
Yeah.
know anything yourself? Have you discovered that you have magic?
I'm still learning, Namia said. But, yeah, but since the school is closed, we won't be seeing Esmeralda for maybe a week or two. It depends. Well, she said she's going to be gone. But, yeah, if only, it's like, there was another lady that actually went to actually join Esmeralda, but
Well,
Well,
we can press on if you want to.
have you heard of Patreon? Yeah, have you ever heard of this Abashagwa called Patreon? Roll for history, but yeah, just roll. DC is quite high, but just roll for it.
History.
Okay, pass. Okay, Karan. Okay, Karan, you never heard about Patreon before, but Heron, perhaps it's as your travel as a bard, you heard stories about Patreon. Patreon is an Abashagwa. Not your typical race in this world, of course. She's actually from the different planes, but she actually traveled here. She actually gave her knowledge to actually stop the rampaging dragon when it actually arrived more than 30 years ago. But however, the last you heard, Karen, about Pythion, that she went missing for quite a long time. Nobody actually heard about her, what happened to her, just that she just simply vanished. But other than that, you did hear stories that somebody actually found the remains of her griffin washed ashore somewhere near the island of Theros, but that's actually quite far from where we are. But those are just rumors from other bards, of course. But only time will tell what happened to Patreon. Right. Okay, Namia brings you around and he said, "Come, Karen, Heron. Let me introduce you to other places too." And after a while, actually walking around, you see a tabaxi distance, like a female tabaxi, like walking around. You notice that she's actually also wearing some sort of bard musical instrument on her body. And then she said, Namia,
oh, hello.
you seem to be making some new friends.
I could do with some friends.
Then you see the tabaxi, the female tabaxi, and she said, "Let me introduce myself. My name is A Field of Stars. You don't have to think so much about my name, of course. My parents gave me that. But are you here for the performance for the king?" She asks you. You can lie to draw for deception, or you can just tell the truth.
I don't lie. I exaggerate what is often the truth. So he said, "No, I am not here for the performance. I may look like I am, but not at all."
I didn't know anything about this event, but I am here to see the king.
Oh. Then you notice that the tabaxi, you notice that her face like, wow. So if you're here to see the king, then that's good. I mean, King Cornelius haven't been to see Reston for quite some time. He's always been very busy in his own kingdom, but for him to actually make an appearance here today, we're actually just waiting for him to come. But well, if you're here to actually meet the king, perhaps, and then after that, then you'll see Field of Stars turn to you, Harry, and said, "I noticed that you're a bard, just like myself. Do you know any particular music throughout the lands that you actually can sing?"
I know a few. Typically, things that you would get from the battlefield, from the heroes of the past. All of that. I'm not too interested in anything modern.
That's great. That's great. And then she turns to you, Karen, and then Field of Stars and looks to you and then said, "And how about you?" She looks to you. And, I just remembered, where both of you from? She looks to you first, Karen, and she asks you, "Where are you from?"
From far away from here, a small town called Gothheim. I wish I was there now. Can we not talk about it? I tend to get a bit homesick.
I'm sorry about that, but well, judging by the way you dress and stuff, the way you walk, I believe that perhaps I can actually put some words for you. But before you can actually continue, you notice the Minotaur walks over to the rest of you, and then after that, then you notice that this Minotaur actually dressed up, covered with a cloak, a robe around her body. You notice that her antlers is just pointing straight. Her tail actually wrapped like a belt. And then, Field of Stars, and she speaks out and said, "Oh, this is my friend, Glona." You notice the Minotaur looks at you like and says, then speaks out, and then she said, "No, so 2 new places to see giraffes. That is actually very good. And Field of Stars, I can't help but hear the conversation and mention that this is another bard." And Field of Stars said, yes, apparently yes. And Glona speaks out, well, I am of course the cook and also the caretaker of the castle for Lord Varus and Lord Rinze. And she looks at you up and down, Karen. And then she said, I believe I perhaps might have something for you. But you look like somebody that has traveled very far from here, of course. I couldn't have stopped and heard that you actually want to have an audience with the lords themselves. Am I correct? Glona asks you, Karan.
I believe that is yes. Is that something you can arrange for me? For us both?
Glona then speaks. You notice that the Minotaur rubs her chin and said, yes, perhaps I could. But do you two have a place to stay?
We just got here, so believe it or not, and he just glances over at Karen. It's like, we kind of need a place.
Yes, I believe Nuna here was going to show us somewhere. He's been very good showing us around.
Rona looks to the small boy. Nimbia, you are indeed a very good boy. But yes, this young lad over here, he have promises. But he's always have a nice, kind heart. And he always stay willing to help people when they're in trouble. Sometimes he often gets beaten up. Even though he always tell people that he can do it all day long while getting beaten up. Then Glona just laugh. But then after Nambia, you notice that he blushes. Then after he just put his head down a bit and said, "Well, can't blame me if I try to protect some people." Then Karan, you look to the boy, look to Glona, and you notice that the Tabaxi filled stars and looks to the both of you. And she said, "Well, if you're looking for a place to stay," he said, "perhaps you can stay with me." Well, of course, if we're going to be working together, then if we're going to be entertaining the king and the other lords, then perhaps we can actually get something done. Me and you, Aaron, and perhaps Karen. Perhaps you can actually do something, perhaps, during that night, or help out.
I'd be more than willing to help out. What would you have me do?
And Glona looks to you. Do you know how to cook?
I know how to do some basic things. Enough to survive.
Oh, well, I wanted to ask you something like, do you know how to use your swords behind your back? But we don't really get much people that's willing to attack this kingdom. People will be crazy enough to invade, but so far the invasion is further up to the east. There's nothing here that's actually might interest any invaders, but if you're good with that, perhaps you can protect me from any invaders that invade the kitchen, hey? Glona speaks to you and is just laughing.
Oh, these things, yes. I am useful with a knife, but I tend to use it more in defense. Try to avoid full frontal assault.
That's good. But Lord Rinzai himself always believed that he doesn't need much protection. But I believe that he does sometimes. But perhaps you can actually follow me. I can put up a good word to him. Perhaps he might have something for you. Perhaps. But let Field of Stars bring you and prepare yourself for the night. While we actually wait for the princess. You heard the princess again many times. And you heard Glona said, while we wait for the princess to actually arrive. But before she could actually continue her conversation, you heard somewhere further down south a horn being blasted. Toot, 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 toot. And then after you hear the guards speak out and said, the princess is here, speaking from far away. And then you hear the crowd, you hear everybody suddenly open up their window, open up their doors. Suddenly you see chickens, pigs, and everybody like stop. First they will hear the chicken cluck, 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 and cluck, and then after they turn around.
Herb, permission to make the chickens like.
Yes. And then you see the many townspeople suddenly open up the windows and say, what? The princess? And then after you go and say, yes. And then you hear the guards from the distance say, the princess here! And then pointing one direction, further down towards the south. Then, Field of Stars and turn, Malina's back! We must sing a song! Glona then looked to Field of Stars and said, no, we do not sing a song.
Why do I sound
Unless, of
hear
course-
the song from Aladdin? Make way for the princess. Oh,
Do you want me to make that a short version?
yes, yes, please.
Meanwhile, Malenia and Elirina, you arrive at the gates of Shizi-Rev. You can see the other tabaxis, the farmers to your left, suddenly stop and gawk at the both of you. Their jaws almost dropping to the floor. And then you hear another halfling, the farmer, looking up, the princess. They all bowed and bent the knee and their heads lowered down as they saw you, Malenia. And Elirina, this is common to you. The townsfolk actually bending. It's like their heads down, looking down on the floor, not able to actually rest their heads. You hear the guards on top of the towers actually speaking out, their horns blasting. You can hear them blasting the horns non-stop. Toot, 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 toot. It's like a broken record, you think to yourself. Why can't they stop? But meanwhile, Malenia and Elirina, up to you, okay? What do you two want to do?
I just like put the hand over my bridge of my nose. It's like, do they always have to do this? It's so embarrassing. I mean, I get it if it's my father, but me, I'm just a princess. I much prefer myself to be, secluded. What do you call? Not to be made such a big deal. I much rather to just be. Oh my god. I'm just gonna hide behind you, Elina. I'm just gonna hide behind you, Ellie. It's like I'm just hiding behind her and hiding and like trying to cover my face. It's like, this is so fucking embarrassing.
Do I burn the horns for you?
No. Ellie, we speak of it. Do not harm the people. They mean no harm, but I'm just annoyed. But just just get away with it. It's like I just like hush him, hush, like go towards the door, and there's like go towards the door and like go through the door and like just leave here as soon as possible.
As you wish.
Okay, Elirina, you actually followed Malenia. The door, the gates open, you see the guards there. While the gates open, you notice there are a line of guards with their spears up, their shields ready, making one line left and right as they actually see you two coming. Elirina, as you see the guards, you know as the princess' personal bodyguard, personal caretaker, ever since she was a baby, you look to the guards actually respect you the same as they respect Malenia. They bowed their heads and then they pound their spears to the floor. Bam! And then after that, they make like a salute. And then in the distance, as you actually entered the castle grounds itself, you see Glona in the distance running off. Okay, Karen and Heran. You notice that field of stars and Glona rushing down as fast as they could before the guards actually open the door and open the gates to see the princess coming through. What do you want to do, Heran and Karan?
I'll
Karen's
follow,
just
but I'll
gotta-
stay at a distance.
Yeah,
Correct.
Karen's gonna kind of follow along with Karen, and just it's like quite a commotion. Haven't been somewhere this busy in a while.
And then you waited there while you Heran and Karan to see actually what's going on. But Malenia, you see Glona, the Minotaur, the female Minotaur that has been looking after Rinzai and various children even before they were born. Also was here instrumental in actually rebuilding the city when it was actually destroyed. Also helping out the people. You know Malenia. You also see your old friend, Field of Stars, Malenia. She was there. You know Malenia as a car. She grew up singing and dancing together with you when you're young. But as you see her, Elirina also knows Field of Stars. Elirina, you see the Tabaxi. She's always been a bard. She's always been just like her father. Wanted to sing, wanted to see the world. But as you see her there, you know Field of Stars is not much of a threat. But Field of Stars quickly rushed towards you, Malenia, and tried to pound at you and hug you. And she grappled you. Do you want to
no.
oppose?
No, I'm just gonna prepare for the embrace. It's like prepare for the impact. Brace for impact!
You pound at you like a tiger, like pounding her prey. And then she's on top of you. And after that, after that, she started to actually lick you on the cheek. And after that, she's like, you still taste the same. Feel the buzz.
It's nice to see you again. What was her name again? I can't remember.
Field of Stars, or FOS for short.
Force, it's nice to see you again. Now, would you mind? You're pounding on me, and you have been. Is it me or you have been put on a few weights?
Oh, you notice that. You notice FOS actually pounding on her stomach. I've been having some sort of chocolate all the time. And then Glona then walks over and said, Field, mind your manners. This is a princess we have here. And then you notice that Glona bows her head to you that, welcome back, princess. How long has it been? 10 years, maybe? Or more? I can't remember. You've been back.
15. I have been here since I was 3.
Yes, 15 years. 15 years. But, Elirina, you never change. Still the same. Glona looks to you, Elirina.
She means well. She means well. She don't usually talk to people, especially what you have done, Fios. So I do suggest that you let go of me before Ellie decides to, it's like she's giving a nervous laugh.
Burn her to a crisp, my lady.
Sorry, what you say?
Burn her to a crisp.
I mean, I do wish that we could continue to talk, but I need to get back to the castle before my father's game. I have to be there to personally welcome my father here. I will talk to you guys.
Yes, cranky. Cranky little man.
I will talk to you guys later, right? I promise I will talk to you guys later. I have to be back at the castle before my father arrives.
Hi.
I'll be seeing you again, Rina. I'll be there. Rina, I'll be performing for your father and the other lords. Glona will be cooking your favorite dishes as usual. And Glona will be looking at you, or Glona looks to you and say, yes, Rina, I'll be
Yes, I
cooking
miss
your
your
favorite dishes."
lasagna. I miss your lasagna so much. Oh my god, I've been craving for them since I last ate them. It tastes so delicious.
And Glona then looks to you, Malenia, and said, the Minotaur speaks out. I just remembered. Oh, follow me, princess. I want to introduce you to two people I just met. Here they are. Oh, Karan and Heran, come over here.
Oh,
That's a new
are we
face.
okay? And you'll
And
see
then-
as Karan bows low.
Heron
Okay,
just
Karan, you bow and Heran. You see the princess. The princess herself. You notice that she's still as beautiful as she is, and what the rumors actually says. Her hair tied nicely, her gown actually covering what needs to be covered, of course. She's still wearing her princess attire. Okay, Kaede, I do hope you have a second image after this, which is okay, alright.
This is a last minute image because I was searching it through the CC. I'll find a better one later.
That
No,
is
you can always have your evening gown image, and then after that the battle image that you can change anytime.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right.
Alright.
Anyway, continue.
Okay. The Minotaur Glona then after that looks to Karan and Heran. Raise your head, Karan and Heran. You don't have to bow. Besides, the princess will trust you as I trust you. But Elirina, roll for insight on these two characters, please. 21 and okay, 21. You look at those two. They look trustworthy enough. You trust them. They don't look like your typical brigands or assassins that have been trying to kill Malenia ever since she was 1 year old.
Oh
Many have
boy.
tried. Many
Oh
have
boy.
tried to kill her. Many have tried to kill Malenia, but so far many of them have failed. Basically because Elirina, you mostly just killed them right in front of her. Mostly.
Post-traumatic childhood. Post-traumatic childhood.
But that is where you also train Malenia to actually become a warrior herself, to fight, to protect herself, so that she can actually be just like her mother or her father. And then, Malenia, you look at the two. You look at this young lady that calls herself Karan, and you look at this young man, Self, named Haran, a bard apparently. And then Glona then speaks out. The Minotaur speaks out and said, Karan will be my personal entourage. While I will be in the kitchen, she will be there to help out. And Heron here will be performing together with Foss. So the both of them will be giving the best entertainment that they can for the night for your father and for the other lords. But, Malenia, you can trust those two as I trust them. But it is your word, Malenia, against mine. If you agree to trust them and bring them to the palace, it is your word, my princess.
Friend of my friend is my friend as well. It is glad to make your acquaintance. My name is Malini Spear. It is once again good to make your acquaintance.
My name
Thank
is
you.
Karan Elienor Miliseldi Fern, Your Majesty.
I
Right,
go
yeah.
by Halwan. Oh, sorry.
I presume you are the bard and you will be performing at my father's palace, correct?
That is to be expected, yes.
Fantastic. I love a good music. Hopefully you will bring the joy to the evening. I'm looking forward to your performance.
He just does a quick nod, just as a response.
Anyway, I would love to continue to chat, but I have to go now before my father's arrive. Otherwise, it would be, you know, um, it would be a very unpleasant evening for me. So please excuse me for now. Ellie, let's go.
Alright.
I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys in the evening.
Shall we?
We'll see you then.
And we
then
just and we just eat ourselves.
I will yeet you there, okay? I will yeet you where you need to be yeeted.
Please eat me because I have no idea where am I supposed to go.
Okay, I will yeet you to some certain location. Okay, I'm just gonna put you here. Elirina should be here. Meanwhile, Field of Stars looks to Karan and Heron and said, Alright, then the two of you follow me. Then she brings the three of you out of the castle walls through the gates and bring you over towards her house. She's here. Okay, that is where she stays. She invite you over. You see For's mother is like looking at her the moment she opened up the door, and then the mother is another tabaxi wearing her tight apron and stuff. It's like, and then cooking some food. And then you notice that she's a bit chubbier than normal. For normal tabaxi, normally tabaxis are not really big skin, but for this one, apparently, it's quite big. But the tabaxi is like, oh, my daughter, bringing two. Well, then the mother like,
I don't mind you swing both ways as long you give me children.
No, the mother didn't say that. The mother's like, oh, new friends. It seems that Field's been making a lot of friends ever since she's been traveling a lot. But then again, she got her charm life from her mother and her father. And then Karen and Heran, you look around, you actually enjoyed the company that her mother actually gave. And then after that, you enjoyed that evening to actually eat the food. You don't have to pay to stay in an inn or a tavern. The house is big enough to actually even accommodate the two of you. So actually stayed for that evening while Malenia and Elirina actually head towards the castle grounds itself. But meanwhile, in another section of the city, the conversation is actually ongoing. Cornelius, you arrive actually days before your daughter. You did not actually tell her about your arrival. Your arrival was a big secret to a lot of people. You actually went in as a normal commoner at first, dressed as a normal commoner even. Even your guards are dressed as normal peasants. You surprised Durotan, Rinze, and Varus the moment you actually enter Rinze's home. Durotan was actually shocked. Varus was just surprised. Rinze's eyes are widened when you enter the rooms itself. Cornelius, you know that for a fact they are here for a really big reason. Not only that you are here because you need some sort of favor, Cornelius, but it's because of an event that happened 30 years ago, and there's a reason why you're here. Varus looks to you and he bows his head. King, Cornelius, I should address you now. Is it? He speaks out. He
Who
smiles.
say? Who say that? Varus, is it?
Varus. I put this on. I put each of the token in map. Let me put them back into token mode only for Cornelius and Durotan. But don't move the tokens. Don't move the tokens. Just stay there. If you want to open the character sheet, you can open it right now. Okay, Varus looks to you, Cornelius. He speaks out. So how should I address you now, old friend? King? Lord? Or just Cornelius?
Just Cornelius. We are just on the casual business talk, and I would much prefer you talk to me as an old friend rather as a, someone that's higher than you. I do not put myself above you, Varus. You very well know that. From now, within this room, we are all friends. We are all equal. Call me Cornelius. Call me Cornelius, like how I call you Varus, my dear old friend.
You are too kind, my friend. But your journey here was unexpected, Cornelius. Your arrival was unexpected. Does your daughter know that you're here?
No. I kept it a very secluded secret away from her. She mustn't know that I was here. I kept telling her to come here first so I would come later after her, but she doesn't know that I took the same shit as her. She doesn't even know I was right beside her. I was so secluded with my own track that she doesn't even know I was right beside her the whole entire time. But that matter not. Right now, my arrival here is none of her concern. She would think that I will be arrive here in 2 weeks' time. Which is why I'm here right now, to be here to conclude our business, as we always do.
Yes, Varus speaks out. You notice that his long white hair covering his face, but he actually put one of his hair around his knee ears, and he turns. But It is good that you're here, old friend.
My
And Rin,
daughter do make a fond. My daughter do speak a lot of you, though, Varus. She seems to think you as a uncle of sort. Perhaps it's something to do with. I'm not sure. She seems to have a quite a fond. I don't know. Perhaps it is because that I was a lacking aspect of a fatherhood to her that she thinks of you as son of a father. I don't know, but she do take a fond liking of you for whatever reason.
well, you do know one thing, Cornelius. My daughter Valeria, she and your daughter, I mean, they've always been good friends. And besides, my daughter see you as a father figure herself. Well,
Ah,
you know Valeria. She's always taken a liking to you and perhaps your daughter. But I'm not too sure where my daughter is right now. I asked her to come here post haste as soon as possible. But I sent her a letter for her and her brother to actually come here so they can actually at least say hi.
well, let's leave the children be children. Right now, it's adult that's talking. So, what has been cooking? Tell me something that will bring pleasure to my evening.
Rinze looks to you and said, and he growls slightly. You can see the crown on his head, around his manes. Then Rinze looked at you seriously. They sit down. All of you sat down. But Rinze speaks on the ground. Well, you know one thing, Cornelius. Ever since we enslaved Tirson down in the tomb, things has been, as you say, not been kind to my people. And Varus speaks out and said, what Rinze is trying to say? Varus speaks out. You notice his eyes sharpen. Is you do know the lands of Vow. You do know the ruins of Vow. You still remember that place, Cornelius?
Yes, I remember. I remember as though it was like yesterday. Tell me
Yes.
what's going on. What has been plaguing your mind?
Lands serves seems to be plagued the darkness, but that's not the only one. You know, right now that the lands of Bawa is being attacked by Oda Nobunaga.
Ah, curse that foul creature.
Yes, and it might be infecting ours across this region. If he were to actually take over Bawa and expand his influence and his powers, it will only be a matter of time until he sets sail towards Argami and we will be taken upon. However, I have sent a letter to Zakaria to ask for his audience here. Because if Oda Nobunaga were to actually come over to the lands and invade, he would destroy the region itself. And the dwarf tieflings, samurais and ninjas, I believe, of Zakaria. But Zakaria told me that he is busy with work, apparently, that he's unable to be here presently to meet us. It seems that his work is more important than anything else ever since he became king of the land.
Ah, dwarf and his stubbornness, they are all the same.
Yes.
They all, when the crown was put on top of his face, on his head, he thinks of himself higher than all of us. Ah, curse those beasts.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't mean you guys. I don't mean you guys, Duratan and Rinze. No offense.
Then after that, then Varus and turns and took to Rinze, and Rinze turned and looks at Duratan and you, Cornelius, and Rinze just speaks out. But let's not waste any much more time. I do know that currently Vow is still being plagued by the darkness and the undead. There's really nothing much that we can actually do but other to protect our regions from the onslaught of those creatures that walk the night. headed towards here. But it seems to be plaguing those from the north, even. And anything that seems to be influenced by Tirson seems to be unexplainable. There's
And
nothing
what
much
of the
we
current
can do.
tomb? Has it been opened? What's the, so what happened to the tomb? Has someone
Yes,
been trying to open it or not?
He speaks out. Then Rinzin speaks out. They said, Tirson has been entombed for 30 years. There's really nothing much that he could do. He had no power and if those dungeon that we kept him.
Yet he was
Besides,
able to do such thing. Yet he was able to plague the land despite being behind the tomb. Something doesn't tell me that he is just behind the tomb. Either he is escaped or he had some other power source outside of the tomb. I say that we would have to find someone to seek out those that's beyond the tomb.
there are many things we need to help with taking out. But everybody is busy preparing for your coming tomorrow, Cornelius.
Yes, I understand. Perhaps we will put perhaps we will put this on hold and not ruin the day that was supposed to be prosperous for us, especially for me. I do not wish my day to be ruined by all this gloom and grim stuff. Let's put it on hold for now, and we will come back to it once I have my own celebration. And all of y'all, come, we should drink. We should drink to the night is still young.
Okay. You notice that Rinzai pick up his tea, and then Varus pick up his tea, Durotan pick up his tea, and then drank it. And then after that, Yen, you turn Durotan turns to you, Cornelius. Okay, Durotan, your turn.
I just say to them as they previously mentioned that nobody knows if Tirson is still in prison or not, and I'm like,
The fact we're still here is a testament that he's still in prison. Remember, we judged him, and if he was to escape, every one of those people who judged him on that day will die. First.
And how are you so sure, Durotan?
You alive?
We
I'm alive. These two are alive, and the others who are not here are alive. Which means he's still in prison. I mean, we trapped him in a prison so dark that even sunlight can't even enter it.
yet the land is still plagued by his darkness. Are you so sure that just because we are alive that he could not escape? After all, how would you even know? He was the one that said that he allied himself with the dragon cult. You said that he was your brother, yet he aligned himself to the dragon cult. How sure are you that he did not find another way to escape? Think of your word very carefully, Durotan. Do not make me do something that I will regret myself. Pick your words very carefully.
Almost 53 years old. There's nothing left. The only thing I have to say is, even I am too scared to walk into that prison and find out the truth that he has escaped. But lying to myself that he's still there, hoping to spare myself the ugly reality of finding out the other way around.
And this is why we need to find the truth. We need to make sure that Pearson, the Dampier, the vampire, whatever he wants to call himself, is really the one that is plaguing the land.
Well,
We need to find the truth. But all those matters aside, I wish not to have my day been ruined by all this grim talk. Let us head to the words. I think my daughter has been waiting for me now, and I think that I have hold her long enough. Let's get going. Varus, shall we? Durotan Rinze?
Varus then turns to you, Cornelius, and said, Now, I suggest that perhaps you should stay here for the night, Cornelius. And then Rinze then looks to you, Cornelius, and said, I do agree. It is best that we keep your presence here a secret until your official arrival tomorrow. It's best that your daughter do not know that you are already here, my friend.
Sure. Then I'll take your hospitality as an invite then. Come, Rinze, I heard that you have a very fine onsen here. I would want to wish to have my old backbone to be healed by your wonderful onsen.
Oh yes, of course. Glona will be preparing for it, Rinzai speaks out. And also, my wife makes the best sushi, and of course the best ramen. And Vera's like, yes, I love your ramen, Rinzai. Bring it. But let's not discuss politics for now, Vera speaks out. Let's just enjoy the day, then we'll discuss it tomorrow once all our children are present. Besides, Valeria will be happy to see you again, Cornelius.
Yes. I have missed her, even though you have quite a few of your children that I could not remember the name. But nonetheless, I love them all equally.
Yeah. Marcus will also be happy to see you. My son, of course, if you remember correctly.
I hope the soon that I see the image of them.
I only have 2 children, Cornelius, as compared to Durotan.
Europass.
Yes.
Wait, I thought Rinze have like 5 children. He said that he want to have 5.
Rinze's 5. Rinze only have 3. I only have 2. Durotan have like 8.
Well, nonetheless, I love them all equally. Now, shall we go? I'm dying to have an onsen.
Hey man,
While all of you were all happily drinking your Japanese tea, having onsen, sushi, and ramen, and so on, but meanwhile, in another scene, which I actually completely forgot. Okay, Rai. Sorry, man. I forgot about you for a while. Oop. Okay, am I wondering if Rai is still online?
Right? He's here.
Okay, alright. Okay, alright. Okay, Rai. You see Uzul and Rinke talking to Nala. Oh, you heard about this lady, Nala, the wife to Rinze. And then you see this Tabaxi, full of stars, as they're talking to Rinke. Yes, this scene was supposed to be the second scene after the first scene. Now going back. Anyways, okay. Full of stars talking to Rinke. Rinke is like, pleased to see you, Phil of Stars. And he said, Field, it's been a while. But how are you? And you're with my mom, of course. And then Uzul, you see Phil of Stars, the beautiful Tabaxi. Of course, you can't do anything to Phil because orc and half orc and Tabaxi doesn't mix biologically.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
very indifferent about
Auntie Nala. Auntie Nala looks to you, Uzul, and said, and then Nala then speaks out, Uzul, he seems to have been taking care of my son from any of his mischievous deeds all this time. So, how is he?
He's been good.
I mean, and he's like, slam him on his back.
He's a good little kitten. I mean, come on. Dad trained him. So of course he's gonna be good.
And he's like slamming several times.
I mean, he just dispatched a couple of undead all by himself.
Nala then like smiled. Then she said, couple of undeads. That's good. Well, that's what we trained you for against many creatures of the lands. But that's what being an adventurer really is. Well, I gave birth to this little tiger over there, that small little lion. Well, you better make sure that he... You have a lot of things to prove, and your father hoped that you can actually follow in his footsteps. If it's not you, then it's gonna be your sister. But between you and your sister, it's only gonna be between you and her. But Nala looks to the 2 people behind your back, Uzul, and she asks, are you going to introduce me to 2 of your friends?
Oh, I'm sorry. I will introduce you to them. The first one is Kelogin, and the other one is Quoi.
Quoi and
Koi.
Kelogin.
It said Koi, man.
Yeah, sorry. I
And
need
Koi-
someone to menu to
And then Koi, like,
address.
Koi that spells out, it's Koi, not Quan.
Kue, it's kue.
Koi. Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad. I butchered the name.
Nala, Nala walks over to you, Koi, and said, so, judging by your appearances and perhaps the way that you bring yourself, you must be the one that actually joined my mischievous son in his adventures. So, Koi, can you tell me about yourself?
Um, I would rather say I'm quite the retired mercenary is something. That's a good term to put it. As for nature of my work, I typically was hired in handling beasts and vermin as such. Though those days are long past, and I am just here dealing with this bumbling fool. As she just points towards Kelogin.
And then Nala then looks to Kelogin and said, how about you, Kelogin? Tell me about yourself. Okay. At least I want to know my children's friends.
Kelogin kind of perps up for a bit, and he sort of scratches his chin. Well, what to say about me? Well, if not to be a little bit too humble of myself, I like to think of myself quite the genius and a little bit martial artist here and there. And I would dare to say that my magic abilities are quite a handful for your child. As he says this, he's immediately strangled by Koi. Okay, fight! God damn it! I'll speak normally then. God damn. Well, I'm traveling Koi here in, seeing the world and all that. Oh God. Let's leave it at that. Any more I say and I fear for my life.
And then after that, Nala so if you're here with my son Rinkir, so you must be here for the procession.
Well, we were kind of just here in general business, walkers do walk, and all that. That does sound interesting a bit. Koi kind of cuts in as he thinks, yes, we are. Please do not mind whatever this disgrace of intelligence says, but
Ouch.
let us say we are.
Oh, that's good. But then Rinkir then turns to look at both of you and I said, well, since you've been traveling with me for quite some time now, Koi, Kelogin, I guess it's perhaps time that you should join the knightlyhood. Perhaps if the king is going to be here, perhaps he would be happy to actually see the both of you.
Would be quite an entertaining thing to see, I would think.
Yes, of course it would be. Then after that, you see Phil of Stars and looked to the both of you and said, well, if you're gonna be here, perhaps you should just perhaps dress up and perhaps should prepare yourself for the meeting. And besides, the king will be back tomorrow, and by the time he's ready, by the time he's here, we'll be ready for him.
Very well. In the meantime, I would do like to look around in this city as well. I will be bringing Kelogin around with me, as the last time I left him by himself in this city, he almost got arrested. Kelogin says, well, you see, about that story, maybe not say it's a bit embarrassing. Right, well, Koi, I think we should probably go. I want to go see if there's anything, new equipment I could check out in the shops in the city.
Well, then after that, like Rinke and then Ozul, that looks to both of you. Rinke and said, "Well, I know this city like the back of my head. Perhaps I should bring you around. Besides, I think Field need to be preparing herself, for the night." And Field then looks to Rinke and say, "Yeah, I think I need to. Yeah, I think I need to prepare myself, perhaps. But I'll be following Auntie Nala to the palace to see what needs to be done." Then after that, Nala looks to you, Uzul. Well, how about you, Uzul?
Well, I'm gonna have to accompany Father now. Since he's in the castle, gotta go and see if he needs my help. Friends?
Well, you know where the castle is, Nala tells you. I'll be heading back there myself, perhaps Rinke. But, Uzul, perhaps I should bring my son back. And why don't you bring Kelogin and Quoi around the city? Besides, you got nothing much better to do, and the cathedral is not up and ready yet. Perhaps you should bring them around the city and see what they can get.
Definitely.
I look into Koi and Kelogin and say,
So, anybody's up for some shopping?
Sounds quite the experience. I'm willing to partake in. Thanks for inviting.
Okay, let's see what we have.
as he basically leads you into, the bustling markets of the Shizi Restum, and, you just see all different kind of goods as he tried to explain them.
Hey, Koi, Kelogin, and Uzul, you just bring them around the city to actually see what you can actually bring them for shopping. So during this time, you actually bring them to where they actually want to go. Okay, so Kelogin and Koi, me just asking, are you here to actually buy something?
Well, I want to see if there's anything worth buying in the first place.
Okay, right. They're gonna be going shopping. Okay, that'll be like later. Okay, now gonna be listen.
Tell me to do the French voice later.
The what?
The SpongeBob French commentary like 2,000 years later, something like that. I'm gonna say this first. Later.
Yeah, just that you're like busy at the moment with Malenia, so that's not gonna happen the time being. Yeah.
Today is just purely RP, right?
You want combat, is it?
No,
no,
just asking. No, just
no.
asking. Just asking only. Just asking only.
Okay.
RP is fine. RP is fine.
Yes,
We
RP
still
only.
punish the whole class for one student's misbehavior.
Lol. Lol.
Exactly.
Hey, someone could try to trash the ceremony. You never know.
Yeah. Don't give the DM characters. We all know what's gonna happen if you give me enough ideas.
Yeah, I've seen our
I'm
ideas.
just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Don't jinx
Okay.
it. Don't jinx it.
Okay. Let me just say this. Why not we do an onsen scene where the two girls doing girly things, but all the nice stuff. Yeah. What about that?
Oh god, man.
Let's just move on. Let's just move on. Let's just move on.
Girly scenes? No. Okay, anyways. Meanwhile, inside the house, we have to hide a few things first. Okay. Inside feels family home. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron and Karen. Well, the two of you actually prepared yourself. And then after that, just like rested. You see Phil's mother preparing all the exotic dishes for you. You just eat it. And then after that, then you see her mom. I asked you, Karen. And then she said, "You are not from here, are you? The way you dress, is your skin, but nothing much for me to say. But you look like you've been from a place very far away. You're not from the people of this land, if I'm not mistaken. She asks you.
No, I'm not. I am from a small place called Gothheim. High in the mountains.
Gothheim. That's quite far. I remembered my husband traveled there once before, during his adventuring days. That was before we got married. And it's been a while. How is Gothheim?
I wish I could tell you. I haven't been there in a while now.
Phil looks at the mother. Mom, it's like, stop asking him about that. Ask the other guy. The daughter was like saying, and the mother's like was puzzled at first, and then looks at Heron. Sorry about that, Karen. And then she asks. Then she looks at Heron.
It's quite alright. It's quite alright.
Then the mother said, if you feel comfortable in telling me about that, but perhaps how about you, Heron? Suddenly she changes the conversation and asks Heron. It's like, Heron, where are you from? I have never seen you before, or somebody like you before.
I travel quite a lot. I am not fixed in one location. Never have been. Been traveling most of my life to battlefields, recording many epic tales, let's say. I just don't have a place that I'm specifically from. I'm from everywhere, you could say, but that's really all.
Was that a tone for I plagiarized other people's work?
Maybe. He keeps that a little secret.
And then after that, Phil and the mother like, what? That's no doubt they're gonna be like telling me anything more. But why are the both of you here? I mean, okay, so and then she looks to Heron. Sorry about your current, but Heron, what's your purpose in the city? She asks you.
I'm looking to get an audience with the king.
An audience.
Same with Karen.
An audience with the king. That's good. Well, a lot of people have been seeking audiences with the king. However, the king has always been very busy. She like say out loud. And but you're gonna be in luck. The king is gonna be here tomorrow.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes. And you'll be able to actually see the king. I mean, my doctor is going to be performing for the king very soon. Then she looks at Phil and then she said, well, Phil, are you going to be preparing your performances for the king?
Yeah.
And Phil, I look at the mother, yeah, me and Heron, we're going to be doing this performance thing. So, Heron, are we going to be like practicing for it for the night? And then after that, then Phil looks to you, and after that, you notice that she actually picks up her musical instrument. And then after that, I look at yours. And after that, then she said, okay, we're going to be practicing. And then after that, you just roll for performance to actually follow her. The king has some specific music that he loves. And the daughter, I mean, my friend, she has specific tastes in terms of the music and everything else that actually comes with me.
You want me to roll before performance? Yeah.
Performance.
27.
Okay. All right. Feels actually tried to actually follow your style. It's like you took it out and you're like ding, 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 ding. You sing, and then you're like, oh, wow, you can really dance. Feels look at you while you're actually like playing and singing and then dancing at the same time. Then Karan, when you look at the performance, you're actually quite impressed with Heron's style of singing and dancing.
I find myself accidentally singing along a little bit. Not that I really know the words, but a good old hum to a good tune is always good to keep the mind active. I must say, though, you have quite the nice home. I've really enjoyed
As
your
I used the
hospitality.
the mother looked to you and said, "Yes, this was what we could actually afford. The farmland, and not to mention Lord Rinze himself helped us a bit with the money. And then my husband used most of the stuff that we actually found during our travels together. And after this, then we got married, and Phil was born. But the moment Phil was raised by me, and then suddenly my husband just decided to leave and head off on another adventure, leaving me and her. And she was quite young.
Without saying a word.
Without saying a word. He just simply packed his things and left.
Can't imagine what that would feel like. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm used to it. I'm completely used to it.
Oh, and I'm sorry if I had offended anyone by not talking about my home. It's been so long since I've been back, and I can't imagine what they're going through. We don't exactly have many riches there. It's often in drought, and we make do, but my steward, you see, he's in his 90s, and he'll be looking after the place.
Oh, your steward is quite old, I believe.
Yes, he's quite elderly.
Is he human? Is he elf?
He is a human. He's been in my family's stewardship for many years. As long as I can remember. All 24 of mine.
That's good. But so, are you traveling to look for someone or something?
Actually, no, I've been trying to get away. I would like to return home, but it's not safe for them if I return. I have something I need to offload, and that's why I want to see the king.
But I believe the king is gonna be undisposed of when they arrive. I know it's gonna be very busy, and everybody would need his approval in handling the matter that's going to happen very soon, from what I hear. But perhaps you should actually get yourself ready for the night itself. And I can see that Fields and your friend Heron over there, they seem to be look like they're gonna be practicing like the whole night.
Yes, they. I don't mind if they do. At least it's keeping me distracted from home. But you're quite right. I think I should get ready.
Yes, yeah. As I not mentioned, I need to get myself ready for the day ahead. And knowing my daughter, I need to actually really get ready for that day. And besides,
You have a bath.
oh yes, I do. Yeah, you can actually make yourself comfortable in my home. My home is your home.
Thank you. It's been quite a dirty journey on the road, and it's be good to wash off.
Ah, yes. And besides, you always need to actually prepare yourself for everything else. And then after that, while you actually get yourself ready for the night, Phil's mother actually cook for the night itself while you take your bath. And then after that, Heron also prepare and then practicing with everybody else, with Fields, to come up with the best music that he and him can actually come up with. And then during that night, Uzul also brought Kelogin and Oi walking around town, looking for most of the stuff or belongings. Yet towards the tavern also, Uzul and Kelogin and Oi. But the moment you actually head in, you notice that many of his citizens was actually away and apparently busy or mostly at home, leaving the perhaps the tavern itself empty, with nobody to actually take care of it. But you do see others around, perhaps walking in, finding the place empty, and then walking out again.
I just say.
But
Oh, okay.
But after that, also you notice that everybody in this city is just getting ready for the coming of King Cornelius. Everybody seems to be quite busy. Everybody seems to be waiting for something to happen. But get around. So Uzo, Kelogin, and Koi, what do you three want to do?
I just simply say to them,
Sorry about that. Usually this thing is packed. Today, not even a rat is in here. Looks like everybody's preparing for tomorrow. Do beg your pardon, friends, but we may have to leave because there's nobody even to serve us. What do you two want to do?
Kelogin kind of perks up. Well, I don't see much of a reason to remain here unless you want to go snooping around for some stuff. Which, I wouldn't think that's really much of a good idea now, would you? But, I think it's better if we just take our leave.
Mm-hmm.
Also, probably before I'll prepare for the king coming as well, seeing as everyone's all excited for it. It might be something big that we might want to prepare as well. What do you think, Koi? Koi kind of turns and yes, as unfortunate it is, I agree with Kelogin here.
Okay, it's settled. Let's keep going on the tour, and hopefully we'll encounter a place that is filled with people so it can, serve us
Yes.
drinks and food.
Hopefully, luck in the next location.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, you're actually moving towards the next location. Okay. Uzul, you walk around town looking for other places. And then meanwhile, for Malenia and Elirina, you arrive at the castle area, and then you can see that many of his guards, many of his people, many of the servants in the castle seem to be running all over the place. It's like they see the princess, it's like they bow their head. Oh, princess. Oh, sorry. And then after they just pass you after that, Malenia. Elirina, you actually see that you're annoyed that most of the people here were just running around. Not even addressing the princess properly. You notice that the place is still even run down, not even prepared yet. But people here are not preparing for the coming of the princess. People are here coming for the father of the princess. But you do see two people you recognize further down, which is Rinker and Rinze's wife and old Rinker's mother, Nala. They seem to be having a conversation down below. So, what are you going to do?
I just walk down and I say that of course, everything is about my father. It's better that way. Don't worry about that, Ellie. I much rather to have the attention focused on my father than me. You know how much I hate to have the attention on me. Everyone will always address me as my father's daughter, but never by my name. Only you will ever call me by my name. So it's like, yeah, anyway, let's get going. I think I see Rinke and Nala there. Let's give them a greeting. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Okay, after the la 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 la, that's it.
Yeah, I'm going down. I'm just roleplay. Let me roleplay. Rinke, Madam Nala, it's so good to see you again after so long. How have you guys been?
Rinke looks to you, looks surprised. And then you notice that his eyes widen. Princess Malenia and her consort, Arena. And then news came out. Haven't seen you for years, perhaps.
Yes, it's been long. 15 years? We haven't seen each other since we were kids. Especially since you were the cub. You were such a cute cub back then, and now you have been grown so big and strong, and I'm sure that you make your father proud.
My
Yes.
lady, you forgot one thing. He used to be fluffy.
Oh
Yes.
yes, I remember the last time I tried to hug you and touch your ears. Your ears are still so fluffy.
And then Rinke looks to you. You wanna know what else is fluffy? He winks.
Be careful, your mother is here.
And then the mother looks to Rinke and suddenly slap in the forehead really hard. Down, boy. Lady Nala looks to the sun, and after that, Rinke like, well, it's been a long time. It's like, Malenia, I remembered you. When you were a young girl, you were very, I would say, you were extremely chubby. Look at you now.
Careful with your words, little boy. I might
It's
burn you.
okay, Ellie. It's okay, Ellie. I do agree that I used to be that way because no thanks that you have been feeding me with a lot of enchanted milk. It's like I'm looking at her. I'm just looking at her.
Did I?
Anyway, yes. But we are not there to talk about all the reminiscing of the nostalgia. We are here. How have you guys been? It's been so long, especially you, Lady Lala. You haven't aged a single bit. You look as beautiful as I used to see you.
Well, it's been years. Yes, I still remember you a long time ago, but you've always been so kind, and now you're wise and intelligent. You're different than I remember you, Princess. Then she speaks out. You're completely different than how I remembered. But for me, well, it depends on what we do here. And also, not to mention the food they were raised, the crops, and the people, and my children. They make me smile every single time. My beautiful daughter. I mean, you still remember Amara, right?
Yes, I remember you have another cup of yours. Yes, like you say, Amara. I haven't seen her though. So far I've seen you and you. I mean, the both of you and some old faces, but that's about it. I haven't seen Amara anywhere.
Amara and her brother. That's the reason why I'm talking to Rinke. Amara and her other two brothers. Ever since they came back from the tomb, they look different. It feels different. It's like now they don't feel like they want to be part of the procession. Like tomorrow, when Rinke will be given the dragon blade, it feels as if that Amara is now distancing himself from me and her father. And apparently, I mean, even her brother herself. Rinke is now back, and we don't even see her and the two brothers here, even to say hi or to say hello.
Well, I'm sure she'll come around when the time needed her.
Yeah, I believe so. I think, well, you know Amara. Amara's always hot-headed. When she doesn't see things that go her way, she tend to actually do things her own way after that. Well,
Yeah, I can see that.
yes, you know, there's really nothing much I could actually say even about about your friend or my daughter in particular. But that's it. But but after a while you're actually like busy talking to Nala. Suddenly you see three people actually walk down the staircase, making some sort of noise as they walk down, and then you can see Uzul bringing two strangers to the palace. Hey, Uzul, while you're doing your tour
Mm-hmm.
with Kelogin and Quoi, you see the princess and her entourage, and also Rinke and Nala down below of the castle grounds itself.
I just simply say to them,
Oh, that's the princess. That's that's uncle's daughter. Or the owner of the castle. We need to be very polite with her as she is, socially speaking, higher standard than us.
as he basically walked politely, and I'll just yeet him all the way as he walks with, I'm assuming like Kelogin and Quoi with him. He just comes from this side, give a respectable, like he basically kneels and say,
Princess, I never knew you came. Forgive me for my rude entrance and interruption. I hope your travel was well.
Yes, thank you very much. You are.
I'm
Sorry, forgive me. You and your siblings all looks the same. You have to refresh my mind that you are who you are again.
I am Uzul, your majesty. Uzul,
Ah, Uzu. Yes, I remember you. You are always, yep, head over my father. I understand that. Anyway, it's nice to see you again after so long.
same here, your majesty. How was your trip? I trust nothing.
Yes, everything is fine. I have Ellie right beside me. She takes care of all my needs and everything. And so far, yes, I have a very pleasant trip all the way down here to prepare to visit my father once he arrived. So I assume that you do not know that when my father arrived, do you?
I've been told he'll be arriving tomorrow, your majesty. That's all I know.
Well, I suppose everyone all says the same. Then perhaps he will be here tomorrow. Then, either way, yes, it's nice to see you again, Uzul.
Nice to meet you too, Miss Ilaria.
as he like,
And so, do you mind telling me that who are you bringing those two behind you? They seems to be your guests or something.
Oh, new companions. We met on the road here. Me, Rinker, them, and one more person while we had to fight someone dead. Fighting demons.
And you don't think that it was impolite to not introduce them to me?
Rai, yeet them all the way down.
Hold on. Hold on. I need to find my roll 20 again because I have so many tabs open. There we go.
As they basically make their way down. I'm just waiting for them to be eaten, otherwise I cannot introduce them when they're not there.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
My lady, allow me to introduce to you Quoi and Kelogin, the two adventurous friends that I have met.
I would love to know who is Koi, who is Kelogin, because they all almost sound the same name, and I have no idea who are they.
oh,
Which one is? Wait. I'll character talk. Which one is Kelogin? Which one is
On the
Koi?
right.
Because I cannot differentiate.
on the right here, Koi sort of gives a deep bow. Says, I greet thee. As you have heard, my name is Koi and X. Hunter. That's it. And this thing next to me is Kelogin.
It's nice to
just
meet your
towards this man
acquaintance.
here.
It's nice to meet your acquaintance, Koi, Kelogin. Are you perhaps here to also stay for the ceremony of my father's arrival?
Yes, we are. Also, if this thing next to me ever decides to attempt to speak, please do ignore it. Kelogin
do.
sort of like mumbles as he like gives death stares towards Koi.
No worries. I'm sure that if it does anything, Ellie here will be able to protect me. But yes, it's nice to and allow me to formally welcome you guys to here again in Shizuram.
It
Is it called Shizuram? Is it called Shizulam? I can't pronounce the name.
Cheesy Restem.
Or you see now, you don't even remember things.
She's reps.
Shizulam. Okay, yeah. Allow me to formally introduce you guys to formally welcome you guys to the palace of Shizulam. Your acquaintance is my pleasure.
As for myself,
Anyway, continue. Who wants to role play?
That's it. Simple roleplay. Oh my god. Maybe I should have thrown combat. You guys want? Okay. Continue.
No,
No.
not
This episode. Not this episode. Next episode.
That's right. Roleplay, man. Roleplay. It's like even Zaft is not roleplaying. Come on.
Role play.
Even a what?
I
am with my
asked
now.
I asked
Like,
your permission. I asked your permission. You
Other
can roll for
than-
insight.
Other than
Just
the
Ronnie.
emotes-
Just Ronnie.
Other than the
Okay, in that
emotes, emotes only give you 5 EXP, man. You better roleplay.
Okay, this insight on who?
The two.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You inside on the two, you're unsure whether to actually trust Kelogin or Quoi, or see how they introduce themselves further on. Arena. You can roleplay with them. You don't have to stay quiet. You don't have to be the quiet servant girl.
Yeah, Zaf, you don't have to be the quiet fella.
Permission
What
to
happened?
throw a sacred flame towards this guy's face.
No. Why? No. What the fuck are you doing that?
What? Did I
What the
hear
fuck?
right?
Sacred flame at somebody else's face?
It's okay. Go ahead. I allow it. Just roll.
In a joking manner. In a joking manner.
Oh.
Non-threatening.
Mm-hmm. Sacred flame to this guy's face. For fun.
Alright. Who's one? Kelogin or Quoi?
Oh, me? What the hell did I do?
Oh.
Okay.
To Uzul. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh shit, I have to open this guy's character now. Okay. I have to bypass dexterity save of 14. Ah.
No damage. This is just a joking way.
Oh, okay. Oh god. He's like poof.
His face comically combusts. You're as ever as stupid looking, Uzur.
He's like wipes his face.
My lady, I'm a cleric first, an orc second. I don't think I can
Yeah.
fit anything in between. And also, I recommend when you take your boss pennant, you make sure you keep an eye on, you know, the door.
Oh? Are you trying to seduce me, little boy?
Ellie, stand down, Ellie.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, allow me to introduce myself. Elirina Hanzhran. Nice to meet you. I am but the princess' friend, as you can see.
Nice to meet you, my lady.
And you
Apologize,
two friends there.
Uzul. I apologize for Ellie's temperament. She can be a bit protective of me, and yes, I do try to. Yes. Anyway,
Don't,
Ellie, I told you not to do that.
Oh, my bad.
Nonsense, Your Majesty. There's no need to apologize. I have 7 other siblings. I practically got used to unpractical yet unfunny pranks like these. They just those kind of childish acts. They must show that the immaturity level of the person.
Well, forgive me for not
My.
understanding the siblings' rivalry, but as you should know that I do not, I'm the sole daughter of my own father, so I do not understand such, sibling rivalry and such. So I apologize for that.
Oh no, please. I'll just say this: if you want to know the feeling of having siblings, imagine you have 6 other servants just like her, sharing your room, your food, and everything else, and you have 0 privacy in life.
Wow.
Mhm. It's like I would not fucking understand this because it's like I say, I'm the only real. It's like the whole entire fucking castle could be for my own for all I care, man. So it's like she doesn't understand peasant life.
Okay, now I shall look at Koi. Back to roping. Fine body, fine looks, interesting ties. Where are you from?
I lived in a village out in the sea. At the time, I would not say I'm quite good with maps, so I can't exactly tell where, which direction I'm from. But I do recall in my childhood, happily frolicking on the beach.
Aw, you're almost like it. You're almost like her. When she tend to get lost.
Yeah.
Sounds so evil. That laugh.
Sounds like a monkey.
And you. Nice. Very nice. That's what I can say.
Spoken like a true MILF.
Oh my god.
Oh dear boy. Ever since you were little, you had always have been fixated on me. Why is that? Why, little boy?
Oh my god.
I'll just say this
yes.
to you, my dear lady. It's like there's something that everybody wants, but you got that one idiot who doesn't want it. Yeah, I'm the idiot. You look nice, but unfortunately, you're not my cup of tea, because, you know, you're too flat.
Who said I was, and who said you weren't? Anyways. Elirina pinches his nose in a very, friendly manner. Still as stupid you are.
He's like,
Ellie, I don't suppose teasing the royal guard. Wait, what's your character's background? I don't remember.
Cleric.
Is it the royal guard?
Cleric. Wait, let me open his background. Cleric Sage, to be exactly.
I don't suppose that trying to seduce the cleric of the Durutan's clan would be a good idea. After all, he's the man that, not supposed to have those kinds of temptation. It's like question mark.
I'm just messing with him. Anyways, nice to meet all of you.
I said goodbye.
It's like such an awkward. It's like such an awkward situation right now.
Don't worry, my princess. I've said goodbye to the temptations of flesh, and I took the vow of celibacy, except when I will get married someday. Otherwise, I'm practically immune to the lady's charms.
Okay, it's like the princess just doesn't know what to talk. It's like he just want to get out of this situation right now. It's like such an awkward situation.
Well then, if you're done, we can move on. Am I right?
Yes. I'm. Anyway, shall we go, Ellie? I mean, like we have other place to be, right? Right?
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, let's just go then. It's like he bid everyone farewell and just like yeet himself somewhere else again. Yeet herself somewhere else.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's actually fast forward everything until the next day. Okay. The next day morning, after you all actually fully rested and prepare yourself, get everything ready, you can see carriages, horses, other people, other lords from many other lands, from the north, from the west, from the east. From the southeast, of course, is Cornelia, where Cornelius is from. But you see other barons, other leaders coming towards the castle itself. And you can see one particular carriage covered up. You can't see through the window. But Malenia, Elirina, and for Uzul and all of other Durotan's children also present here in this city, even Kelogin, Quoi, Heran, and Karan. During that morning itself, that early morning, you, Glona, Fields, and all actually got your stuff and your belongings and head straight towards the castle earlier than everybody else to actually prepare yourself to get things done before the king arrived. But for Malenia, you tried to actually see if your father was actually inside. You try to actually peek through when you're on top of the castle walls and so when you're on top of the castle, trying to see if anyone was inside the carriage. But the carriage itself rode towards the castle and then vanishes. Unable to see who's actually inside. But you rush down to see who is there. You try to actually see.
Is the scene changed? Because the scene is still back at the old one.
Yes, of course. You rush down to see who actually arrived. The moment you arrive at the castle scene itself, you see your father, Durotan, Rinze, and Brodvarus was already there. You think to yourself, wow, your father must be very fast. Due to his age, he must be running from the stables itself towards this location. And you thought to yourself, of course. But you goes to your father, and right now also knows your father really well. Well, you can roll for insight.
Okay, hold on. Inside.
Okay, inside. Okay, 17. All right. For Elirina, it's too fast for the king to actually arrive at where he is. So the father must be either teleported, maybe, but you don't have any wizard in your kingdom, or was he already here a day earlier, Elirina? But you know that. That means the father was already here earlier than expected. That means the carriage that he was using was empty. The one that you saw earlier on during this morning itself when they arrived to Siziref. But for Malenia, you know for a fact that maybe your dad was already here in the first place, but he just kept himself hidden. Because it's best to actually make it a decoy, of course, just in case people want to assassinate your father or attack him before things actually get messy. But for Uzul and the others, they arrive. For Kelogin and the others arrive. You can see themselves just talking and chit-chatting with themselves, thinking what to do. So, within the castle grounds itself, okay, Malenia, Elirina, okay, Aizen, I don't know which character going to be using, okay, Kelogin, Quoi. Okay, you can go towards the basement itself, towards the kitchen area, where there is a small place where people actually prepare the belongings, where everybody actually prepare the food and everything else. There is where Field and the others they actually met earlier on. There's going to be preparing everything that they could, preparing everything for the procession. You can see the guards, you can see many other personnel actually running around doing their thing. Or you can head towards the middle center, because the place that you're actually in right now, this is just the place where Cornelius and Rinze is going to do their speech, which should be later on. But there are many other sections of the palace. There are 4 sections. This is the first section. Then after that, the second section is where Cornelius and others are going to be talking to the other knights, and after that, other people. But you notice at the same time Nala, Salih rushing up towards the staircase, and then asking Rinze to actually calm down. Okay, for Uzo, for Malenia, for Elirina, okay, I don't see. Kelogin and Quoi are not supposed to be here because they are not part of the. They are not the children of those people, but Kelogin and Quoi are still at the same location as they early on when they met you all, which would be the first center. But okay, you notice Nala talking to Rinze. Roll for perception for Malenia, Elirina, and Uzo, or whoever that our Aizen want to bring out to this scene.
Mm-hmm. Perception.
Do I need to roll for perception as well?
If you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Okay. Uzo at first and Nala when actually went up the staircase, he actually asked Rinze. You actually heard that. It's like she said to Rinze, there's something that you need to know. Nala speaks out. And Rinze is like, what? It's something to do with your son. But that's about it. That's the only thing you heard. That's the only thing also Malenia heard. But not Elirina. Elirina's just too busy looking at the procession. Making sure that the security here is tight. Of course, you can see many of the guards running around, but I don't want to add them to the map because it'll lag the crap out of everything. So I rather just put a number of key characters. So, you heard that, Uzo. Malenia, you actually heard that. Then, there's something to do with the sun. But which one? Is it Rinmior? Or is it gonna be Rintel? Rinmio has always been the Tabaxi or the Leonin, which has always been opposed to Rinker getting the Dragon Blade. But also at the same time, Rintel is a bard. Rintel is a bit crazy. He probably won't even bother about the Dragon Blade in the first place. But all this quarrel all the time has always been about who gets the blade, who gets to lead and rule Shiziref. I mean, for Varus' children is not here yet. You're unsure why. Why is it taking so long? Why are they not arrived yet? So, Uzo, Malenia, and Elirina, what do you want to do?
I just walk up the stairs. I just make a small bow to Lord Varus and say, Uncle Varus, it's been such a long time since I last see you. How do you fare?
Varus looks to you. It's been a long time to see you myself, but I've been seeing you for a while. You have grown a lot, but
Yeah.
you have grown. But how about your skills? Have they grown?
I do learn some from you and from my father, but well, if you do wish to think, I think we can have a spa once everything is calmed down. I do wish to know of my own power level as of currently. After all, I don't exactly get much of training aside from the one that was already taught by Ellie right here. She taught me much of it, but on the magical side, I could only learn so much from her. After all, she is a cleric, and you are, of course, the sorceress, the high sorceress of Vow that everyone knows so much about. I wish to learn more from you. Perhaps sometimes after today that I could continue our usual training. If you have the time, of course.
Well, I may be known as the High Sorceress of the land, but I did learn a thing or two from Esmeralda. She is, of course, the High Wizard of the land. I'm just a sorcerer. Of course, I can actually teach you a thing or two about magic and then how to counter such things. But perhaps after this procession, it seems that we can't seem to find Rinker anywhere. Have you seen him?
Hmm.
Yes, I think I saw him on the. Well, where was the place earlier on? Was it the
The day
basement?
the day
The day
before,
before.
my lady.
Yes, the day before. Yes, the day before. Somewhere around the basement with Lady Nala.
Lady Nala's just here, but she looks worried. And then after that, Varus turns to Rinzai. Rinzai, is there anything wrong, my friend? Rinzai looks up and said, "He's my son. Sorry, is Rinker. Two of my son is looking for him. Apparently, Rinker seemed to have gone or decided to actually go missing on a very important day itself, like today." Then Ferris
Oh.
turns, and then after that, Cornelius then walks over. Cornelius, you heard what happened. Duratan, you also heard what happened. Uzul, you also heard what happened. That Rinke is missing. Okay, Cornelius, go to you first.
What seems to be the commotion? I was hoping to have a pleasant welcoming, but yet I was welcomed with a rather tense environment. What seems to be the problem? Pick up.
Varus and turns to you, Cornelius, and said, "I think it's something to do with Rinke, Cornelius. They seem to be worried." And then Nala then got up to the staircase and said, "Is my son, the king, the one that supposed to receive the dragon sword today, the one that you're here for, is gone. And two of my son is missing too. I believe they're perhaps looking for him. I'm not too sure where. But then Rinzai and turns, I won't be able to pass the blade to my son until he's here. But if he's not here by the time of noon, the sun's rise, King Cornelius, then he slowly turns to his daughter Amara. Amelia, you see Amara here standing. Then she is the only one that could receive him. Then Cornelius, you know for a fact that if Rinke is not here by the time is noon. Yes. Amara is your friend, Malenia. She knows you quite well. But today, Malenia didn't say hi. She didn't greet you much. She just stood there, her gown, just standing there, looked worried. And then she said, Amara then speaks out and said, "I hope brother is fine. I know he always is. But why now? Why today?" But Cornelius and Duratan roll for insight. Malenia and the others also roll for insight. 8.
This is Cornelius. Hold on.
Okay.
Both are bad. Both are bad.
Yeah, got that. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna roll for Varus and Rinzai. Okay, Elirina, as the security officer or the secret service or something, only you can role play this. Okay. You heard that Rinke is gone. You think to yourself, if Rinke is gone, by the time it's noon, Amara will take the sword. Of course, Amara is also second best. It's good that Amara will take the sword other than Rinke, but Rinke missing at a time like this. The only thing you can do now, the only thing you can address right now to Cornelius, Duratan, and all the others present here right now is for you and those present to make a search party and look for Rinke. Okay, to use up.
If I may, let's make a search team. Rinke isn't always this disobedient or neglectful. Something must have happened. So,
I suppose though, Father allow me and Ellie to go search for Rinke while you stay here. I do apologize for the delay. This shouldn't have happened in the most auspicious day, yet something like this happened.
mhm.
Okay, you can roleplay Cornelius also at the same time.
As Cornelius is just like, yes. Such behavior is not acceptable, especially for one that's supposed to receive the sword, the blade of the dragon. Find the person and find him soon. Otherwise, I will have no choice but to pass the sword to Amara. Find him before noon, my daughter. And then what's it called again? Malenia is just saying that yes, father. Me and Ellie will go on a search at once. Ellie, let's go before father is not happy about this. And then just like
Quickly.
Yeah, next, okay, Durotan and Uzul. Durotan first and Uzul.
Durotan basically turns to Cornelius and say,
If the chosen one is indeed missing, I recommend by the ancient laws of succession that his second brother should be the one who received the sword. Don't deny that his sister right here, she could be the second best, but laws of succession dictates that only male heirs must inherit such power. Not diminishing Amara's skills or expertise.
wait, is it true, Herbert? Wait, I need to know, is it true?
Yes, it's true.
Okay.
Past few episodes already.
Oh, so wait, I meant that as in like the sword can only be passed towards a male heir and not a female heir, is it?
Traditionally, yes.
Ah, okay. You're right, Durotan. I do see your point here, but right now, let's not make such a haste decision right now. After all, this is just all a gimmick. If Rinke was supposed to be the one to be, he should be the one that is more urgent about all. If you think that such honorable things that was being passed to him as such lower thing, then he is not worthy. Let's give it some time. After all, we have all until the noon.
All right,
Okay, Durotan.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay, Durotan. You notice that Malenia, Elirina is actually going out. You see your son Uzul is the only one here. You don't see your other children here. If yes, you'll probably ask one of them to actually join Malenia and Elra to join. But Uzul is here, so you only can ask Uzul to join.
Durotan basically turns to his son and say, son,
Uzul, I want you to join the search party. Find him and bring him here.
Uzul is like, yes, father. As he salute the rest and go down, immediately following in the footsteps of the other search party members.
Before you actually rush out, Malenia, Elrina, and also Uzul, Nala actually said, Princess Malenia, before you rush out, I need to tell you something. There are others that I know. There are others that I know that can actually help you in searching for them. I met them when I actually came to the city. I think they're in the kitchen down below. Perhaps you should actually look for them and actually seek them out. I believe their name is Karen and Heron.
Karen and Heron. All right. Yes, I will seek for them at once. Thank you very much, Lady Nala. And we just did ourselves to the kitchen area.
Yeah, meanwhile, at the kitchen area, Karen, you see Giona in the kitchen telling you, so this is how you stir the soup. So this is how you do it. And then you look at her, and after that you use your skill with a knife to actually chop many of the ingredients with skill and finesse. And then after that you just listen to her and how she actually cook. But as you actually look at her, Glona tells you to do one thing, head over here, and then Karen telling you stuff. But as you listened properly, you actually managed to actually get a few recipes down. You're like, Saint Glona tells you, this is the style of the chef. Some of the foods have special benefits. It sometimes raises sometimes it makes us stronger or give us special, how do I say it? Special attributes, perhaps, that makes us better in terms of combat even. But I haven't found that book yet. But if I can find it, I should pass it to you, Karen. But actually listen to her. While Heron and field is busy performing and then going through the music song when some of the hymns are being played, while behind the church itself, you hear footsteps rushing down in the distance, and then your name being called out. Okay, all right, Malenia, you can actually say out their names. You know who they are. You met them already. Oh, okay. Okay, it seems that okay, Elirina, your turn to roleplay.
Me? You sure?
Yes, Kaide's in the toilet.
Okay, let me just move back. Now, where are these people called Heran and Karen? Hello?
Hello.
I-
Just stops playing. It's like, did I hear my name?
Yes, you heard your name being screamed out, being shouted out.
Karen!
Heran!
Karen!
Excuse me, Glorna. I think I'm being called.
Glorna rush out from the door and then head straight together with your Karan, and then see the princess and Elena, and then Glorna the Minotaur just speaks out and said, "What's going on? What's wrong? You look like something happened. What happened?"
Something did happen. Rinky is missing and we need Heran and Karen's help.
Heran. Sounds like brothers
Okay,
and
I'm back.
sisters.
I'm back.
Okay.
Listen,
All right.
it was in that I didn't see the name until I got into you.
Heran and Karen. It rhymes. Oh my god.
Karan.
Karan.
It's Harlan.
Karan. He ran and Karen.
He ran, her ran, they all
So
ran.
he ran and Karen. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll give. Okay, Malenia, you role play first, and followed by Elirina, and then followed by Durotan, followed by Aizen.
And Karan, I need your help. A friend of ours, I would say, Rinske, has been went missing. Today is supposed to be the day that he received the sword from my father, yet, holy shit, why is it so loud? What is so loud?
What's the music coming from?
Where's the music coming from, man? What the fuck?
Oh,
No
sorry.
idea.
It's the bot. You can right click on him and lower his voice.
I was like wondering something like there's like stepping foot sounds. Like what the fuck?
I searched for the
Okay.
right
Anyway.
ambience. Yeah.
And like anyway, yes, I apologize, but I needed both of your help. You guys seem to be able to find. Please join me on the search party to look for Rinke. It's the tabaxi of light.
A dear
light.
friend.
Yeah, a dear friend.
He's honest. He's a lying person.
Yes, please join our party to search for him.
Well, let me see. I should be able to at least follow the footsteps.
You
lead me to where he was last seen.
I would assume that you are a hunter or ranger. You should be able to find a person in no time, right?
Let's hope so.
Great, I'll be in your debt. Please look for my dear friend. Otherwise, my father will not be pleased to hear about it.
All with the people.
Where was he last seen?
He was last seen in the what was the place again yesterday at the basement area? What's that place called? Is it the castle entrance?
Castle
Yeah.
ground floor, basically.
The ground
What?
floor.
He was last seen at the castle ground floor, and with me, Lina, Nala, and him. But that was the last time I see him, and I don't think he will be there. But it doesn't hurt to go there and have a look. Perhaps we can find some clues.
Is there anything that would have upset him?
No.
I don't
What?
think so. It's like he seems quite okay yesterday. If anything, I think he was quite happy to receive the sword. I'm not quite sure.
I assume he's quite capable of looking after himself normally.
Yes, but
Yes.
right now it's kind of an urgent matter because my father is supposed to pass him the sword, and he was supposed to receive the sword, like I said, yet he's not nowhere to be found. And my father is not a very patient person, so the sooner we find him, the better. Otherwise, my father will not be pleased with the outcome, and I do not want the guests of my people to see the face of the wrath of my father. Please.
Well, we don't certainly want that, do we? I guess we can start straight away.
Yeah.
What's closed?
Okay, alright. Okay, Elirina, you're done to roleplay.
Now, how many people we have?
Okay,
1,
you
2,
know,
3,
okay,
4.
Uzo, Malenia, and Elirina, just to tell you, you also remembered you met Kelogin and Quoi. They're actually still in the castle area, still wandering around, resting also, probably checking out the place. You can also look for them.
Oh, yeah, by
Yeah.
the way. Yeah, you go first, you go first.
Malenia, let's find those two interesting fellows we met yesterday. I believe they can help us.
You mean Kelogin and Koi, but where would they be? I think the last time we saw them was also the same place as where we met
We have
Leon,
our orc
Nala,
friend
and
here. Maybe he
yes,
knows where they are.
yes, Uzo. Where do you last seen the two of them? Your friend, the one that you said, Kelogin and Koi?
They were in the same place as we left them. Since,
You,
they're not royalty or anything, I told them that they must wait for us there. So let's go and
you,
check that place, the ground floor of the castle.
Lead the
okay.
way.
Lead the way, please.
He just basically.
You rush up. You rush up to actually look for Kelogin and Quoi, heading straight up all the way towards the ground floor area of the castle to see where they are. But Kelogin and Quoi, both of you, for a night, for a day, were just resting and head towards the castle again to actually check out the monastery and also the praying area of the castle. You look at the angel, the god or the goddess statue where you're actually standing on. You look at it, you can feel some sort of serene energy, goodness coming from it. You don't feel the darkness from coming from within the statue itself. But as you were actually like trying to meditate and trying to think, you hear your name being called out as the echo in the castle. Okay, Kelogin, Koi, what do you want to do? Is
Right.
still around?
Right. Right?
I'm muted, aren't I? Yes, I am. All right. Well, first off, I'm not gonna. I can't be bothered redoing what I just said. The whole paragraphs I said. But in short, Cleo and Koi come to a general consensus that probably they should investigate what is hearing the kerfuffle going on outside. Zoom.
Okay. Right, Kelogin, Koi. You hear your names being shouted out. It echoes through the hallway, it echoes through the whole castle. On this spot itself, but as you rush down, you can see Uzo, Malenia, Elirina, the one that you met earlier on, rushing up together with other people you haven't met yet. Okay, Kelogin and Koi, I'm gonna give you two roleplay opportunities for this one. What do you want to do?
First, hearing the whole, screaming their names out, Koi's gonna ask. So, you seem to be quite in distress. Well, might I ask what is the issue?
We're missing a dear friend of ours. The Tabaxi who was with us yesterday when we were here at the castle. Where have you last seen him? And if you can join us, we can search for him.
I don't. She turns to Cleogan and he shrugs, and he turns back and says, "I don't recall seeing them again after yesterday."
We're organizing a search party, and we would like you to join us so we can look for him. He's meant to be here
That is-
today for his own receival of a very special gift and a title.
That is very fine. If you would want it, Cleogan and I would gladly offer our assistance in these dire times. Isn't that right, Cleogan? And Cleogan, surprisingly enough, seems quite up to it. He's trying to say, "Yes, that's quite an issue, isn't it? When royalty goes missing." But might I ask, where does anyone know like the last specific location of where he was? Because as Quaid said, we last saw him around the marketplace, and I highly doubt he stayed at the marketplace for a whole night.
this is the last place where we've seen him. After I left you guys here, and that's it. That's the last place I see him. I assume that after I left, you guys should be able to know where he went. Do you guys not know where he went after I left?
Well, I'm not omniscient.
Huh?
It means I don't know everything.
I mean, I'm saying to Ozu because after immediately I left, it's like you should be.
Ozo, Malenia, Elirina, Ozo, please roll for history.
Okay.
Because only you three grew up with Ringcare. Oh man. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, Uzu, okay, Malenia, you know for a fact Ringcare never left the castle. He never did. And Uzu, you know that also. But Elirina, you're not too sure much about Ringcare. You never see him grow up. But you never see much at all. But for Uzu, Ringcare always, every single night, every single day, every time he returns back to his hometown, he always prays at the statue, the goddess herself.
I think I know where he is. He always prays at the statue. Never forgets a day or a moment where he doesn't pray. Perhaps we should.
Cleveland like sorts of raises. Do you mean the one down this little hallway here that we just came out of, or? Because we've been here for quite a while. It seemed quite constructed the structure, if I do say so. But I don't recall seeing anyone else other than Quoi there.
Still, I think it's a good place to start looking.
There's a second.
Any lead is a good lead. Let's get going.
I lead them to where he usually does his prayer. If you want to yeet us to another scene.
No, the statue is just here.
Yeah,
Why
that's
not?
what I mean.
Okay, yeah.
Like Kelogin and Quoi have been there for quite a while, and they haven't really seen anyone.
This is.
Though on that note,
This is.
I would
the
have
statue-
Kelogin do investigation.
This is the statue where he usually prays here. Never a dull moment.
I'll- Let's see if there's any footprints or anything that suggests that he was by himself, or if he was alone, not alone.
Can I do investigation, Herb?
Everybody roll for investigation.
It's alright.
Everybody does investigation.
17, 16,
That's
10,
Kelogin investigating, by the way.
Uzo. Okay. Okay.
Quoi isn't investigating because she's leaving it to Kelogin.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Those below 15. Those with the below 15 is like a roll for perception with disadvantage. Those higher than 15 roll for perception with advantage.
That's better.
What? Double 8 on advantage? Are you kidding me?
For some reason, perception toggle doesn't work on this character sheet, but whatever. Not perception, advantage toggle.
Yeah. Double 8.
Double 8. Double 8, everything.
I got 23. I got 23 as my highest.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Okay. When you guys look around the statue itself, you did see footsteps. Mostly perhaps one recently made by Kelogin and Quoi, but for the others earlier on, those that actually roll higher than 15, you don't notice that admirable footsteps was actually made previously, like before. It's not that they're in a leading position. Most of them actually like all over the place. There seems to be some sort of scuffle. But what you notice also, Malenia, there seems to be dried blood on the floor, actually near the walls underneath the statue itself. It seems to be like scuffle happened here, like some sort of fight going on. You see a number of footprints about it, but the blood itself seems to be some sort of indication. Blood on the wall, blood on the floor, and the ones behind you. However, the footstep doesn't lead out of this temple room itself. It's all happening here. It's as if that the footprints seems to be heading inside the statue.
Kelogin kind of gives like the base of the statue a couple taps to
Okay,
see if there's
Malenia,
any hollow areas.
You need to roleplay this in order to give the advantage to those that needs it.
Hey, I just look at the statue and then I investigate the walls. Like there is, I touched the word. This feels very strange. It's like he said, the red, everything. Lina, Ellie, come here for a second. Help me with this.
You sure?
CSI arcs, lol. Yeah, you're not wrong. CSI arcs. Ellie, help me check. I'm sure you dealt with this more than I do. Does this look like blood to you? Red,
Hmm.
this crimson substance. Does it look like blood to you?
Let me look for medicine. Just for roleplay purposes. Ah. It does. It looks fresh too.
Strange, but I don't see any footsteps that lead out to here. It's like you see that I walk around just to check the footstep. That the blood, the footstep, it doesn't seem to lead out of this temple, this statue. If anything, it felt like it went down. Like it is like puzzle. The very puzzle tone is like it sounds like this statue. Something is wrong with this statue. The blood stain and everything. It doesn't align properly. It seems like the blood is dripping downwards. Do you? I'm trying to touch the wall. I'm trying to touch the wall of the statue. And what do I need to roll? Do I need to roll for investigate or perception, Herbert, to look for any what was it called again? Like a secret button or whatever the fuck is it?
You only tell Elirina what you found, or you told the whole party?
I asked him to help me double check with is it a blood substance, and then I'm telling everyone that what the crime scene, the quote unquote crime scene, doesn't seem to align, and that there is something wrong with this statue here.
Elirina, the blood. You notice the blood is not completely dried up. It's still fresh,
It's fresh.
but maybe hours before.
Hmm.
Hours before you arrived. Something that Quoi and Kelogin didn't notice at first when they were just there at the statue. But Malenia, you told everybody else. Now everybody roll investigation. Make sure you put your toggle. Yeah. I want to see it left and right. Advantage.
It doesn't work on my
advantage.
character sheet.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll have to enable it from
You know, actually, let me try this.
advantage thing.
Okay. Then one by one. I want to make sure it's one by one.
Yeah,
From Malenia.
Wait, is it about what was it? Possession or investigation?
Investigation. Okay. From Malenia all the way to Karan.
15.
Karan. Okay. Now Elirina.
Zaft, your turn.
I can't seem to find the toggle thing again.
It's under the cogwheel. Go to the cogwheel. There's a thing called NPC. Under the NPC, there's called roll queries. Roll
Okay,
queries. You
found
just
it.
quick query advantage.
Alright, thank you.
Okay. All right. Aizen, your turn.
Okay, here is my investigation. And even though it's there, like I'm pressing it, but yeah.
Okay.
Nothing-
All right. Lastly, Kelogin and Quoi. Okay. Let's give me a DC 20 for this one. Even with advantage, I'm surprised everybody rolled below 20 except for Kelogin. Kelogin, with everybody's help, all of you actually spend about minutes to 10, maybe to 20 to 30 minutes to look around the statue to see what's going on. Looking on the floor, looking for any precious plate that you can actually find. But Kelogin, upon further investigation, after everybody searched around, walking around, you found underneath the statue of Ifara, the goddess Ifara herself, underneath her blade, her own blade herself, there is a slot for you to actually insert another blade, a long sword, apparently, as some sort of key. What do you want to do, Kelogin? Only you realize this. You may need to role play this to the others, or you can keep it to yourself.
So do tell me, guys, what purpose would a statue need for a suspicious looking slot for what could be a key to a suspicious looking, probably, a tunnel or a secret entrance exit? Because I would like to know, considering there's one at the base of this where the sword stands in the statue. Is he like points towards it? As some
Malenia?
would say, it would seem quite suspicious.
How about do I need to roll for history to understand why is there a slot there, or I mean like a slot there?
Slot. Sure,
Yeah,
even Wuzu or you those that grew up here, yes, you can roll for history for it.
19.
Okay. Maybe for a fact that maybe Rinze and Varus, when they actually created this place, or whoever created this whole palace 30 years ago, before you were born, maybe wanted to actually make a special entrance or a special thing. Maybe it's actually common for things like this. It's actually quite common in many dungeons, actually. Many
Why do
people that roll
castles
history
always
can
have secret
see
tunnels?
this.
Oh, I never knew that such thing happened. Such a contraption was placed in this temple here. Father never told me about such a thing that was being placed within his castle.
Seems like castle construction is a lot like politics. Lots of lies behind it.
Mm.
Anyways, Koi, can you? I know you have this weird special with your weapon or whatever. Do you think you could form that to make a long sword and just shove it into that slot for me? Koi kind of confusingly goes, okay. Koi gets up on top of the statue,
Is
using
it
her
duration
packed
for this
weapon.
weapon? Or is it permanent?
The pack weapon, whenever I summon it, I can change its appearance. Well, let me just send that. Pack of the blade. There it is. Yeah, I can change. I can choose the form that this melee weapon takes each time I create it, and it. If I'm more than 5 feet away for you for 1 minute or more, it returns. It disappears.
Okay.
I can just resummon it. There's no like limit to it. It's whatever. So
Okay.
she creates a standard looking longsword she saw on the market the other day, and she sort of just like tries shoving it down the hole as per Kellogg's instructions.
I'm surprised nobody even have a physical longsword, but it's okay. But
I have though, but yeah, but since Koi decided to do it, it's like okay, sure, no problem, I guess.
Yeah. Also
Yep,
considering
yep.
there's also a chance you might lose the sword.
okay. Alright, Koi, you jump up onto the statue. Actually, you don't really need to jump up. You can actually just put the slot up there and just put it underneath and just twist it. And then when you put the long sword in, you hear a strike through, like click, click, and then you hear mechanism work on. And then suddenly you see Malenia, as you're closer, you notice that a door suddenly appear right in front of you, with a staircase leading down.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Now, as astonishing this might be, I would like it if we could make a single file into what I can see from up here to be a doorway. As if I let go for this sword, it's going to disappear and it may reinitiate the locking mechanism again. So, if you would all please make a single file line and calmly, collectively enter the doorway.
Right, who enter first?
I suggest the ranger first because the ranger have to check for the traps. Although I much prefer that it's supposed to be a rogue, but I don't think we have a rogue here.
Well, Kelogin enters first because he's trusting in Koi,
Who is this a statue of anyway?
goddess.
Roll for religion.
Indescribable goddess.
Uzo probably can explain it to you anyway, since he's okay. Uzo, roll for religion, since that
Okay.
Karan
Uh-huh.
okay, ask who is this goddess?
Okay, rolling for religion. Okay, which goddess is this?
Okay. This is statue dedicated for the goddess Euphoria Sirius and her great daughter.
Yeah. Yes. I forgot to put in the full stop. Okay, sorry.
Oh, Euphoria Sirius. And the great, among her title is the knowledgeable, the watcher. She watches over cities, protect them from the wilds, and seeing that they develop in just and a beautiful way.
Interesting. So, was Rinky a religious person?
Oh yes,
Mhm.
yes. Yeah. Malini, Elirina, and Uzu knows that. I mean, you can roleplay this to Karan.
He was. Never a dull moment. Whenever he could see one of these statues, he would stop and play for 5 minutes.
Has there ever been any stories of people going missing from those who serve Afara?
Not as far as I remember. I mean, like, I haven't been here for like at least 15 years. I don't doubt that I remember a lot of things. If anything, I think Uzu will be the more knowledgeable in this aspect. It's like I just look at Uzu as like, is anyone ever missing here?
On the contrary, all her worshippers are very friendly. She's mainly worshipped by, builders, creators, crafters. There's no cult behind her.
Yet, there was something missing here. A whole entire full-grown person was missing literally under her watch. That doesn't seem right.
Is there anything? This is probably a strange question, but is there anything about those who worship Afara that has anything to do with bloodletting?
No.
Wait, what role do I have to do to know about this?
What is it?
To know if the worshippers of Yafara have anything to do with bloodletting. Like blood rituals and everything.
You're unsure about that. Okay, you need to roll for history about that.
Okay. History, where are you? Here we are.
No, they don't. They're quite loyal people, actually. They're worshippers of the cities. They actually protect, mostly paladins or clerics, actually, which are found.
And on the contrary, her worshippers are, paladins, builders, construction workers. Everyday people.
Guys, as much as I wish to talk about religion here, I think it's best that we go down and search for it. The sooner we find...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe realty is in danger.
Okay.
I'll give you...
Okay,
Rogan,
I agree with
when
you.
you went down the staircase, when you went down, you don't notice anything much. Even though it's quite dark, you try to see. It's mostly grayish. For those with dark vision, it's mostly dark and gray. You can't really distinguish actually what does the stair look like in color. Is it emerald? Is it steel? Whatever. But Elirina, the moment you went down, you say something. It shines slightly, but it changes color after that. But you can't really see it. It's quite dark. When you actually kneel to actually lift it up, Elirina, you pick up an amulet. Kelogin was right in front of you, roughly about 10 feet away. But you pick up this item. You look behind you, who's following you, the third person to follow you. You pick up this amulet. When you look at the amulet, roll for history.
Myself or...
No, only Elirina, because she picked up the thing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Elirina, you sweat slightly, but you see the amulet with the emblem of the dragon. It is the emblem only used by the cult of the dragon. Apparently, whoever grabbed Richten is a cult, and they are back again. But what is the purpose of the cult of the dragon grabbing Richten or kidnapping him? For what their purpose do they need? But apparently, they are within the city, finds itself, and deep within the city's ancient dungeons, as this city was built on top of the previous old city of Richten. And you think to yourself, hopefully you're in time to actually catch up to them. within the city itself, and hopefully Rinke is safe. And to be continued until next week Sunday, of course.
Damn it.